Well, this was probably bound to happen eventually. Someone has made a response video to one of the toxic TTV videos that I have made on my channel in the past. To be fair, with the content I make, I know that a lot of people are going to have disagreements with the kind of things that I say, so I'm not surprised that a video has come. And to be fair, I did know about this one as well for like a week now that it was coming, so yeah, not surprised that it's happened. Now, this video that this person has made is 51 minutes long, okay? And in the interest of making sure that this person's story is told to the maximum degree that it can be, I will be reacting to the entire video. So grab a coffee, grab a drink, strap in, and make sure that you're ready for this one. And without much further ado, let's get into it. So before we dive into the actual video, I do want to present a little timeline of what's happened that has led us to this point. So on the 30th of July of this year, I uploaded a video entitled "This Killer Main is Unhinged." And basically that was a video that broke down the behavior of a TTV who liked to play as a camping and tunneling bobber. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll know what that video was about. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, and want to go and watch it before seeing this to make sure that you've got like the full picture of everything, I'll put a link to it just up here, and it will also be down in the description along with everything else I'll be talking about in this video. Now, following this, I think it was literally the same day, the TTV that I was talking about, who we will call Bobber for the rest of this video, just to make it a little bit easier. Bobber found out about my video, I think pretty much on the same day, okay? And as a result, spoke about it on their stream, and also then, I think like a day later, put up a post on their stream. I can't show you, unfortunately, because it's been taken down. But basically, they streamed for like 13 minutes, and they put up a message that just said, "Will not be streaming until my response video has been made." And he asked people to wait to hear his side of the story, which is fair. Obviously, I found out about this. I knew about it, so we've been waiting for the video ever since. That was about a week and a half ago. Fast forward to literally earlier today. I'm recording this on Tuesday, the 16th at like 11 p.m. Fast forward to today, and Bobber tried to join my Discord. Now, I didn't really know what he was going to do, so what I tried to do instead was just say to him, like, "Why are you in my Discord?" So I sent him a message, and I said, "Why are you in my Discord?" He said, "I'm confused, sorry. You can come onto my space, subscribe to my channel, and make comments, but I can't do the same." Now, just in reference to this subscribe to my channel thing, Bobber sets his VODs to only be viewed by subscribers. Now, when this person got sent to me, and when I saw some of the clips that people had made and saw those messages, which he has in the top left of his screen, I was very intrigued by what I'd seen, basically, and so decided that I would subscribe to his channel in order to see his VODs and do a bit more research into who he was, which then obviously led to the video. I said, "I never came into your personal space, dude. I took the footage that you put out online for the world to see and reacted to it. Very different from jumping into your Discord and making comments. So did you plan to come in and throw hate around?" He just then sent me a link to the YouTube video that he created and said, "The only person who was throwing hate was you, my guy. Just so you know, there is no more vids from me about you. You have put my family in danger by painting me in a certain way to make money for your YouTube channel." We'll get onto that in a little bit. "I'm doing something you did not, letting you know I made a video about you. Have a great life." Now, I have a feeling he's going to bring up each of these points in the video itself. So I'm going to wait to say anything about those, but in case he doesn't, I'll return to them later. So that was the message that was sent today. I think he then blocked me or just left my Discord, so I can't reply to him anymore. So I had checked out the video, and again, I just want to give like the full story before we get into it, so I'm going to read his description. He says, "This is a response video to Aaron Duke's This Killer Main is Unhinged video posted 30th of July 2022, in which my VODs/gameplay were deliberately taken out of context for the purposes of this sicko's entertainment and video monetization." Sicko. "I tried to reach out and talk to him, and my comments on his video were deleted, so my only option was this video." That statement that his comments were deleted is actually false. And I did actually try and reach out to them about this because I heard in one of his streams and saw on one of his streams, he put a message up that said, it called me a snake, and then said, "Ask me about the video where he deleted comments." I didn't delete his comments. It turns out that he did try and leave a comment. 2 weeks ago, literally on the day I posted the video, he actually did try and leave a comment. And the reason I didn't see it was because what Bobber had done was copy and paste the entire comment that he'd made word for word and post it on 12 other people's comments. So 12 people had left comments on my video. He had then copy and pasted his entire original comment and just put it in as a reply to those 12 people, which led YouTube to mark him as spam and hold his comments for review. Now, I didn't realize this until about a week after the video had actually gone out. Also, because I do have a feeling he's going to mention this in the video, so I'm just going to mention it now. I actually did try and reach out to Bubba on Twitch in the Whispers, and I said to him, "Hey man, I'm sure I need no introduction to you, but I wanted to reach out about something you said on your streams recently about deleted comments. You seemed adamant that you had commented something on the video, so I went to check and see if I could find it, and then because I genuinely didn't delete anything, I found them. YouTube had marked your messages as spam because you copied and pasted the exact message as a reply to multiple people, just as a note for the future, and had them held for review. Now, I'm happy to allow your original comment through with your 6 points if you still want it to be posted, because you made 6 points from the comment. I didn't mention your name in the video because people will more than likely come to harass you if they know who you are, so I want to make sure that you're happy with your name being known. If you are, I'll allow it through, no problem." And I said that because in the comment, he actually says, "I am the killer in this video. It is me," and obviously was going to name himself on my channel on the video itself. Again, I do think he's probably going to bring up the 6 points that he makes through the video, so I'm not going to talk through them now. And also, I'm not putting blame on Bubba for the fact that that is a misunderstanding about the comments, because I do understand that a lot of people who are on Twitch don't actually realize that there are whispers and miss them frequently. And also he said that he wasn't streaming for a while whilst he made this video, so I completely understand if he had missed all of that. It's just a miscommunication, and I just wanted to make it very clear that I did not delete the comments. I'm all for, if somebody on my videos wants to name themselves, fine, you crack on. I don't want other people to name them, but if you want to name yourself, fine. I'm not going to stop you doing that. That's your decision. So yeah, I didn't delete it. Now, a lot of people may be wondering like why I'm making this video and why I'm going about it in a certain way. So to make it clear, I will not be linking this person's video in my description. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write up a transcript of everything that he says in this video as a script. I'm not going to cut anything out. I'm going to write it all up as a script, type it all up, caption, word for word, subtitle it, all that. And I'm going to put it in a description as a document. Now, if you want to read that and get an idea of the things he has said before you see me react to it, then please go down to the description, pause this video, go down to the description, find that document and read through it. I'm not going to link this video, and I'm not going to say who the person is. Now, the reason I'm not going to do that is because I want to return to what he said in his Discord message to me. "You have put my family in danger by painting me in a certain way." This person is running a narrative that I have put his family and him in danger. I'm not giving any more fire to that. So I will not be mentioning his name. I will not be naming him. I'm very aware that he has named me and has also made this video very easy to find on YouTube if you look for it. But I will not be naming him, and any names in the comments that I see of this person will be immediately deleted, and I will just straight up ban you from the channel and the community. That is not what this is about. And I will maintain that, because if this person is going to say that I have put his family in danger when the only person who revealed his identity was himself, I'm not fucking with that. It's not going to happen. I'm also not going to monetize this video because he's already, again, going back to that Discord, to make money for your YouTube channel. This isn't me trying to like prove a point or anything. It's just literally because the point of this video is to allow this person, this Bubba, to get his side of the story across. I'm not going to profit off of that. I don't want to. I genuinely, my point is not to make money. It's really not, but you know, whatever. Anyway, that's just the point I'm making. This video will not be monetized. So I apologize that I'm down here and I'm flipped. This might be weird for some people, but hello. We're just going to watch the video. I may pause it every now and then to just talk about some stuff, but for the most part, we're just going to watch it. Again, strap in and let's get going. If I had to use one word to describe him, it would be unhinged. Someone really hurt this guy, and he is now on a mission to make sure everybody knows about it. I don't think this guy is an actual person. This guy is a fucking caricature. You're just a fucking bully. You are literally a sad little man sat behind his keyboard and mouse. If you ever come across this person, report him. Don't give him the attention he wants. Again, I blurred his name and everything on this. This guy wants you to come into his stream and tell him what an asshole he is. He wants it. He craves it. Don't give it to him. If you know who this is, if you ever come up against him, ignore him, report him, and move on. That is the best way that you can annoy this guy. I promise. On July 30th, 2022, Aaron Duke posted a hate video about me on YouTube. No, I didn't. This is an apology video. This is not an apology video. This video is a one-off response to the toxicity. The killer isn't interested in what survivors think is fair. Yeah, true. To be fair, you know, a killer doesn't have to play fair for the survivors, just like the survivors don't have to play fair for the killer. It's not on one side to make sure the other side is having fun. That's not their job. Camping and tunneling are what keeps the survivor herd lean. It's only the lame of the pack that end up on the hook. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Don't fully understand where you're going with that one, but, you know, that is fine.
Okay, so when I'm playing the killer, I like to think of myself as a hunter, you know, following scratch marks, listening out for, you know, audio cues and stuff, that sort of thing, you know, keep your eyes open. I will only hook about 2 people a match on average, as it tends to be the ones who make mistakes. The ones who get caught in the chase tend to be the people who are not as good as people who are fantastic. That's why people talk about abandoning the chase and stuff. So the lame of the pack, these are the guys that get hooked. Just the people who are not that good.
And then the third one. I wouldn't agree with that. Like, this is a tidbit. He's just commenting on gameplay. You know what? Fair enough. Yeah, you get 2 kills, 2 hooks per game, all that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't agree that it's the people who are bad at the game who get caught in the chase. I mean, Bubba has a 1-hit down, and there's only so many pallets and windows that you can play around with. And, you know, if you catch someone in the dead zone, they're probably going to go down really easily. I don't necessarily agree with that. But, okay, moving on. Anyway. Face camping Bubba, helping remind the survivor community who is in charge. The killer. Oh.
The whole idea of face camping Bubba is to let survivors remember that not all killers are here to be knocked around by the neon squad, you know, the guys wearing the brightest clothes because they don't care if you see them or not. Try running like a meme build on someone like Trapper or Clown or Pig or something. See how your match goes.
So the person comes in. That's a completely different... Okay, so if your point in that statement at the top was to say, like, not every killer is going to be nice, and not every killer is going to farm or do meme builds, then fair. Fair. That's a completely different point to me than the killer is in charge. Like, it's the difference between saying the killer is in charge of this match versus not every killer is going to just want to farm with you. Those are very different points. Like, if that was your point, then fair play. Like, I agree with that, 100%. But that's not... That didn't come across in what you were saying. Personally, anyway, the way I interpreted that, it definitely did not come across that way. Into his chat and puts, "What is your problem?"
Hey dude, listen, you're a cocky bastard. You are being so fucking cocky.
Now, have a think about what you think this person did. Just have a think. And then I'm going to show you. And I guarantee it will not be anywhere near what you think it is. Did you see it? Did you see why he was a cocky bastard? He used sprint burst. That was it. And this streamer's reaction is bonkers. Check it out.
So problem is, yes, you were being a cocky little bastard with your sprint burst, like, oh, I'm exposed, am I? Ho ho ho, come and catch me, killer. Haha, sprint burst. See you later, fucko. That was your plan. You were being a cocky little bastard. You were walking right in front of the hook.
To get the save.
Holding your sprint burst, just waiting for me to fucking go for it. Yeah, you were, dude. Show killers the respect they deserve.
And there is the first instance of what makes this guy so fucking unhinged to me, right? He says that the guy was holding his sprint burst basically as a way to almost rub it in the killer's face that he had sprint burst. But let's talk about what actually happened at the hook. The guy was walking over to get the unhook, heard the terror radius in the area, so probably didn't want to leave scratch marks next to the hook to let the killer know what he was about to do. And then when he saw that the killer was creeping up behind him and about to bash him on the head, he used his sprint burst to get away. Why is that wrong? Why is that cocky? The full clip shows much more context. Okay. Okay. We're going to show the full clip of what had happened.
Oh, let's do some Japanese stuff. Oh, I see movement. And they see me and they've got sprint burst. So the Claudette knew that I was in the area. I passed her when I was chasing somebody. She'd already left scratch marks in the area. You see for the footage here. She knows which direction I'm coming from. She's looking at me. She waits until the last second and then sprint bursts away. That's what makes it cocky. Remember, cocky's confident in a bolder, cheeky way. So why it's cocky is because Claudette was exposed. She was a one-shot down. You know, the whole chase of injure somebody, let her run away, hit her a second time, doesn't exist because you can hit her and she go down straight away. That's why I thought it was cocky. That's my take on it as somebody who's played killer just for years. If you think differently, that's okay. You know, it's again, I'm the killer. You do this, whatever you think differently. But the bottom line is that Claudette came into my stream to ask my opinion on what I thought.
Right, but okay, like your whole point. Okay, if the whole point of what you say is accurate, because one, I don't think it would have been Claudette's scratch marks that you would have seen, because if it was her scratch marks, she probably wouldn't have had sprint burst active. So that was actually probably a different survivor who had left those scratch marks. Just a gameplay like tidbit. She can hear the terror radius and see that you might be, and like if that was another survivor, she could see that you were perhaps chasing that other survivor and didn't want to leave scratch marks there again to show that she was going for the hook. Like, you don't know the whole situation of what happened there. But let's say that your version of what had happened is true. Yeah, the Claudette was probably cocky. Absolutely, true. But does that mean that they deserve you calling them a cocky bastard and hurling abuse at them when they come into your chat? Because the first thing they said when they came into your chat was, what is your problem? And you started calling them a cocky bastard and hurling abuse at them. Like, your gameplay tidbit does not actually tell me why you thought it was okay to hurl abuse at the survivor. And you've taken no accountability there as well. You've just said, oh yeah, in the gameplay she was cocky. Well, even if she was cocky, then that doesn't give you permission. And there is the first instance of what makes this guy so fucking unhinged to me, right?
So the thing here, he says gameplay commentary makes me unhinged. So I'm doing gameplay, commentary essentially on Twitch. And this is like a running theme of mental health shaming that this guy does.
But let's talk hold up. No, hold up. What did you just say? Did you say mental health shaming? Okay. Wow. Okay, so your first point was that I said that you were unhinged because of your gameplay commentary. I didn't once comment on your gameplay commentary. I commented on the fact that you were hurling abuse at somebody. And second off, when have I ever mentioned mental health? When did I ever do that? In my video? In anywhere? Where did I mention that? No, that gets me so riled up. What narrative are you trying to put forward here, that I have abused you because of your mental health? Really? Okay. He also makes it seem like it's a regular thing I do. Like that it wasn't just like a one-time thing that I did. It happened a lot. I have never once berated somebody for mental health. I've never once said that anybody should be shamed for mental health. I don't know where that's come from. And like, normally I try and see the other side of things, and I normally try and say like, hey, I'm just gonna put that into full screen because I forgot to do that. Normally if somebody says you've done something, I'll be like, oh, you know what, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize if it came across that way. That is my bad. But I have no knowledge of what he's talking about here. I have no knowledge of why he's telling me that I have mental health shamed. Maybe he explains it in a little bit. Let's just continue. The guy was walking over to get the unhook, heard the terror radius in the area, so probably didn't want to leave scratch marks next to the hook.
He had already left scratch marks. He knew where I was.
When he saw that... If he had already left scratch marks, he wouldn't have had sprint burst. The killer was creeping up behind him and about to bash him on the head. He used his sprint burst to get away. Why is that cocky?
And again, it's the fact that you're a one-shot down and they waited to the last minute. That's why it was cheeky. He didn't keep maximum distance, play the game, as best as he could. He wanted to bait the swing from me. She was down within 17 seconds of me chasing her, so my point was confirmed. She was being cheeky, and because she was being cheeky, she got downed in 17 seconds.
Actually, it makes much more sense for the survivor to bait the swing, to be honest, because then you're wasting the killer's time as they recover from that animation, allowing you even more distance with the sprint burst. So, like you've commented on gameplay here when you caught this called out a TNL wall as well, like with an M1 swing to down them. That's not, again, judging people on your gameplay. You've done this now twice. I don't know. I disagree with a lot of what he said here about the gameplay and about how he thinks the situation went. Personally, I disagree, but moving on. Genuinely thinks that killer mains are somehow above survivor mains.
It's not that killer mains are above survivor mains at all. Remember, there's no community here. It's literally just killer against survivor. The killer's a stronger character because it's 4 versus 1. And the only way that killer can win is if he kills everyone, and the way that survivors win is if they escape. I don't understand why I'm having to explain the fundamental mechanics of the game, but here we are.
That the killer community... I'm sorry, did I ask you to explain the fundamental like mechanics of the game? What are you talking about? Like, I didn't say... What? What? I was commenting on the community aspect of it. You've commented on the gameplay aspect of it. My point in this video is that you seem to think that people who play as killer more than who play as survivor, who class themselves as killer mains, you seem to think that they are above people who play survivor. Nothing to do with gameplay. I didn't say that survivors are stronger than killers. What are you talking about? Don't try and lecture me on the game mechanics. Like, that's just arrogance and it's like not even necessary. Okay, moving on. Community is somehow superior to the survivor community.
The fact that you're trying to lump all killers and survivors into communities really makes me feel like you're trying to make it a larger issue than what I said. I said, show killers, and this is the horror franchise killers that want to kill survivors. I've had nothing against any communities at all. It's always been against the survivors. My subs are people who have actually came into my stream after a game, realised that I like to get into the role of whatever I'm doing, get right into it. And any feelings from Bubba towards survivors is just that of a killer.
I don't know who hurt him in the past. So, okay. You know what? If your whole thing wasn't about the community, I apologize. I misread that. But it did very much come across as show killers the respect they deserve. That doesn't come across as show Leatherface the respect he deserves. That comes across as show the person who's playing killer the respect they deserve. Like, to me, it did come across as only one way. If I misinterpreted it, my bad, I apologize. But I wasn't trying to just make it about the community off my own ass, essentially. I was trying to respond to what you were saying, and you seem to be making about the community. But again, moving on.
Again, you're assuming someone must have hurt me in the past.
1 second, I'll go back.
I don't get right in.
Who hurt him in the past?
Again, you're assuming someone must have hurt me in the past because of the way I like to play my games.
Nope. I don't know what survivor main. No, it's because of how you talk to people. I clicked at him way too much.
Most survivors are totally fine. There is a small bunch of survivors who are there to infuriate the killer, frustrate them, make them feel like they've, got no power.
I don't know what bully squad made him cry in the corner.
The way you talk about bully squads makes me think that you haven't played killer for long enough. These guys push the boundaries on who's actually the real threat in the game. 4 flashlights, people body blocking, taking protection hits, saboing hooks. I understand they're all part of the toolkit the survivor has, but when they're used together and in excess, it really makes you feel like you've got no power at all as a killer, as these mega franchise killers. Again, it's my opinion, and it's on my Twitch channel.
But true, but that is kind of the point. If the survivors were helpless and the killer could just kick their ass at any time of the game, it wouldn't really be a game, would it? It would just be the killer going in and massacring 4 survivors. If that's the game you're looking for, you're not going to find it in Dead by Daylight. Personally, saying. Someone really hurt this guy, and he is now on a mission to make sure everybody knows about it.
Now, face camping is part of the game, and I'm sorry that it upsets you, but remember, it's not my job to make sure the survivors are having fun.
I've never said that face camping upsets me. Your attitude and behavior does, and you're right. Actually, yeah, no, it's not on your job. It's not your job to make sure the survivors are having fun. I would say that it is your job to treat another human with respect when they come into your stream, but fair enough. There's a particular joy that he expresses when he finds a TTV in his lobby, and I'm just going to show you an instance of that now.
Oh, we've got a TTV Leon. You know how I like a delicious Leon. Num 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 num. So I've been streaming for just over a month. I know this guy has probably forgotten what it's like to have, like little or no viewers, but when a Twitch player comes into your lobby and your view count goes up, that's a big deal, and that's why I'm excited about Twitch people coming into the stream.
So he has. What are you trying to say here with, I know this guy has forgotten, or maybe this guy has forgotten what it's like to have little viewers? But I'm not Starver, I'm not Dowsy, I'm not JRM. Like, what you're perpetuating this idea that I'm like this out of touch big streamer who just is shitting on a little person because they don't know what it's like to be little. It's not true at all. And I've never once ever said anything about your viewer count, your follower count. Never once. Because that's not anything of what I'm talking about. Okay, I go after people with 3,500 followers, 200 followers, varying numbers. I don't care how many followers you have because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your behavior. You can be a partner and you can still be as much of a dickhead as somebody who has literally started streaming yesterday. And it's whether or not you're behaving like an asshole that I care about. I don't care about anything else. Well, fine. Perpetuate this idea, I guess. There's a stream open in the background. You can hear it.
I always like to go on the Twitch person at the start of a match. Usually I'll say, I'm your killer, good luck, something like that. If I've got a lot going on, sometimes I don't get to say that. No, I'm 100% going to stream snipe the guy because I want to know where the fuck he is. So, no hate, please.
Announces that he's going to be stream sniping, announces that he's going to be tunneling him, and then says, no hate, please.
Okay, so this is where I show myself being a total newbie. I generally thought stream sniping was, sniping the Twitch guy from the other four. I had heard of stream sniping before I started on Twitch, but, didn't think much of it. I mean, did it sound like I thought stream sniping was not okay? I mean,
yes.
Even the obvious no hate quote that I sort of made was something that I heard of before streaming, as far as I knew, it was part and parcel of being on Twitch. And rather than pointing this out to me, as one big streamer helping out maybe the new guy that's coming on Twitch, you said nothing and decided it'd be good fodder for your latest video and recorded me instead. It seems like your motivations for making these videos is money, not to actually help the community at Dead by Daylight. Out of your whole video, this is the one thing that I can say, okay, thanks, excellent advice, something I'm not going to do again, obviously. But, I've only been streaming for a few weeks and people make mistakes, I guess. I mean, I didn't read every single rule on Twitch, just like I didn't read all the terms and conditions for, like, software updates for the, EULA and things for games I've bought. But lesson learned, thanks though, I appreciate it. Again, I wish you could have just said that in a comment and not in a 22-minute hate video, but that's where we are, unfortunately.
One, you did say, you said no hate, which to me says that you knew stream sniping was bad. You knew that there was a possibility that you would get hate off the back of that, so you said no hate. And that to me says that you knew that stream sniping was not okay, but fine. You also have insinuated that I am only in for money. Again. Well, first time in the video, but obviously he messaged me about that. What? Because I didn't message you to say, hey man, stream sniping's not okay, because I thought everybody knew that. I am in it for money. Like, your logic there doesn't make sense. You've gone from like one point to another point, and they don't really link to me. You can think what you want about my motivations in terms of my YouTube channel, but one, am I really going to put time into a YouTube channel where I'm editing, I'm researching, I'm recording, I'm putting my time into it with the hope of making it one day a career that I can live off? Am I really going to do all of that and not monetize my videos? Probably not. Doesn't really make sense. And second off, like, I do frequently say that my main goal with these videos is to make the community a better place, to give people an image of what negative behavior in the community can look like, which I still stand by. Your behavior in these games is negative towards the community. I'm probably going to maintain by that unless you convince me otherwise in this video. But that's my main goal, is to make sure that I'm doing something to make a change in the Dead by Daylight community. And again, you may not believe it, but I guess, like, if you're not convinced, you're not convinced. I don't know how to convince you, and it's not really my job to convince you. So yeah, I can't buy the stream sniping thing, to be honest, but moving on. And he just hits him on the hook for a little bit.
Okie doke, so slugging on hook, while part of the whole evil killer persona thing, it's actually a tactic which I use. So when dealing with a face camping bubba, most people will say, do gens, leave, don't get involved. Hitting someone on the hook, it sometimes gets them to a more, engage from their emotional side of their brain rather than the logical side. So that logical side of do gens and get out sometimes goes away. And when they come and, rescue, I can then kill them, so it benefits me. Dirty bastard survivor.
That doesn't sound accurate, because, like, if you're influencing the emotional state of the person on hook, why would that then mean that the other people would come and make the save? That doesn't really make sense to me, but fair enough. If that's your logic, that's your logic. Fair play.
Getting what he deserves, loving it.
What did he do? What did he do? He loaded into the game. Before he had even loaded into the game, you had already set him as a target, and you're saying he got what he deserved?
Yeah, I mean, in the game lobby, I said I'm going for him. Again, if I say that I want to go for somebody and target them in the lobby, then I'll do that. It's, you don't get to decide what I do. I mean, what I meant is spread my love equally amongst all survivors. No, sorry, that's, I'll do what I want.
Again, it wasn't the fact that you targeted him, it was the fact that you targeted him and then called him a dirty bastard survivor as if he'd done something wrong, when he hadn't. You had chosen him off the bat to attack. What do you mean? Why are you so mad at survivors? Yeah.
So the killer's job is to kill or sacrifice them on the hook for the entity. The killer is angry at survivors because the killer wants to kill the survivors. When I play Bubba, I think all survivors deserve either the hook or the chainsaw. That's what they're going to be getting with Bubba. So I'm not mad at survivors. Bubba's mad at survivors. That's the killer that I'm playing. If someone comes into the lobby afterwards, they're still a survivor. I don't see them as Joe, the guy who's playing Ash or whatever. He's still a survivor. Now, if they come into my Twitch lobby and they want to talk to me, as then absolutely I'm there to find out about, how they're getting on and how they thought the game went. 100%. But remember, I am playing the killer role. This
So this role-playing thing was something which I did think was happening, and a couple of people in my comments actually thought was happening as well, that he was playing this role of killer. And, like, yeah, all right, fair, you play the role. That's fine. If you want to play that role, obviously there's a bunch of people on Twitch who play the role, but they don't. I think you take it too far. I really do. Like, the endgame chat, you're not the killer anymore. Okay, the endgame chat is it's over. The game's over. You don't need to be the killer anymore. And those are now real people that you're talking to and sending messages to. They're not survivors. They're real people who can see these messages and be impacted by them. There's a line that you need to understand between the game and real life, and you have, like, by the sounds of it, you've blended those way too much. And it's something which I said in the video as well, that you just, it feels like you're way too in the game. To me, you are way too in the game. I get the role of playing the killer, but you gotta know where the line is. And also, when people come into your chat, you're not always nice to them. You don't always try and talk to them as yourself. You do still maintain a very defensive and antagonistic attitude, as we saw in the clip that you just played and spoke about. Somebody came in and said, "What's your problem?" And you could have said to them in that moment, "Oh man, I don't mean anything by it. I'm just playing a role. I'm just messing about. Like, I apologize if it upset you. Not meaning to upset you in real life." But you didn't. You called him a cocky bastard. You went off at him for how he behaved in the game. That to me says that you've blurred the line way too much and you take it too far. Personally. Go.
fucking guy never even fucking stayed to do his time on the hook, man. What a fucking piece of shit.
You've cut a little bit out of my video there, I think. I think you've cut out my explanation of why I played this clip, but fair enough.
Hate that.
He deadass, as a killer, got mad because the survivor let himself die too quickly.
The thing is, this Twitch guy represents 120 seconds of unmolested play for his team when you're against a face camp in a bubble. So a full gen takes 90 seconds to repair. That means you can do 3 gens and get started on the last 2 for just 1 hook state, 120 seconds. By giving up on hook, he's taken that time that the survivors can do that away from his teammates. He's putting his fun above the people who are relying on each other to escape the trial, essentially. People are complaining a lot about solo queue nowadays. I see it in the forums a lot. How do you think his teammates felt when he just gives up on hook? You know, it's like the guy who quits because you scored twice into him on FIFA, doesn't want to continue the game. The reason I was not happy is because even though I'm playing the baddie killer role, I'm still a gamer, and I still understand that, you know, what he's doing is toxic for the survivor community.
This stream, that's hypocritical. You know what? To an extent, I would agree that giving up on hook is not fun for the survivors that you're playing with. But the majority of the survivors who I've played with will fully understand that if a bobber is face camping you, what are you gonna do? You know, you're not gonna do anything, and if you let yourself die on hook, fine. Because no one likes just sitting and staring at a screen and watching something happen and not actually interacting with the game that they are trying to play. Especially when you're streaming as well. Like when you're streaming, you have a community who is watching you, wanting that entertainment, and it's not going to be entertaining for anyone if you're just sat there on the hook. Like, yeah, maybe this guy should have served his sentence on the hook and whatever and allow people to do gens, but at the same time, I feel like every survivor understands that getting camped by a bubba is not a fun time, and if you give up while you're on the hook, fine. Like he left out he waited out his first state. To me, that's fine. If you wait out your first state and then go into your second state, fine. You know? But also, I do have to maintain that you suddenly having empathy towards the survivors when you've literally just said that you play the role as the killer, don't care about the survivors, call them dirty survivor bastards, play that role up until the end game chat and even outside of the game, you now are having empathy for the survivors suddenly feels a little bit weird. And that's where I kind of feel like the hypocritical thing kind of comes in a little bit, because I don't understand why you now suddenly care about them. You say you're a gamer. If you're a gamer, then, you know, like, you're camping somebody on hook. You say that it's not on the killer to make it fun for the survivors, but you are still going out of your way to make it unfun for the survivor. Like, yeah, it's not on you to make it fun for the survivor, but you don't have to go out of your way to make it unfun at the same time. Like, you know, it just kind of feels a bit hypocritical to me, but fair enough. Keep going. Mad props to him, by the way. His link will be in the description because he's an absolute sweetheart. Didn't care. He was just like, okay, yeah. Just on that note, he's not a sweetheart. I've spoken about this previously, but I made a mistake on that one, and I do apologize again. I'm just going to move on to the next game then. He had such a good reaction to it.
You call this guy a sweetheart for having...
I swear. Okay.
Such a good reaction to it, but I just pointed out why he doesn't deserve any praise, apart from the fact that he didn't take his 3 chances to escape, which, you know, to be honest, makes me think like he was just tabbed out. He wasn't even playing. And apparently you've actually had to retract your sweetheart comments for whatever reason, but I mean, it just shows you, you know, it's very difficult to judge people.
And you are out of order. So let's talk about this. First of all, I called him a sweetheart because he, in real life, didn't show you any hate. Yeah, he left the game, but again, the game isn't real life, bud. And second off, for you to bring this up is so fucking out of line to me. So this little screenshot you can see on screen, I've since learned some things about the streamer feature partway through the video who was face camped by the bubber. In the video, I said you guys should go and check him out, but now I actually ask that you don't. I don't want to continue giving this person a platform after learning more about them, and for your own comfort and safety, I sincerely ask that you stay away from him. You know what, to be honest, man, how dare you bring that up? That's outrageous to me. I made a mistake that I had no way of knowing, to be honest. And you say, oh, it makes you not a good judge of character. You tell me, how am I supposed to know from watching somebody play Dead by Daylight that they had done those type of things in the past? You tell me how I'm meant to know that. And you tell me how that is exactly the same, and you can make a comment about my judge of character as me watching you do things live on stream and then commenting on them directly. You tell me. Because they're not the same. And you bringing this up is a little dig at me, I feel like. It's a little dig at the fact that I fucked up and made a mistake. And Nah. That's out of line to me, and that has nothing to do with you as well. That's a bigger thing. That has nothing to do with you. So for you to bring this up, no, that doesn't sit right with me personally.
Comments for whatever reason, but I mean, it just shows you, it's very difficult to judge people.
And this guy couldn't handle that, and he had to just make something up about why he should show this guy hate.
Pointing out my opinions on what he did in game on my stream. Yes, again, this is my comment. When you come to stream, you're here to listen to what thinks of, whatever it might be, whatever game, whatever movie we're talking about, whatever it is.
Okay, so when you come to the Aaron Duke channel, the YouTube channel, you're here to hear what Aaron Duke thinks about people who play Dead by Daylight. I can use the exact same logic as you, and you say that I have done this and I've done that, and I had no right to do what I did and all this, but if you have the right to put your opinion forward, I think I also have the right to put my opinion forward by your logic. Personally. So toxic. And also, just on that note, you are commenting on another TTV, as am I. I'm also commenting on another TTV, so we're basically doing the exact same thing. You don't bring up his gameplay, true. But I could have had a black screen and used your voice, and I still feel like you wouldn't have been okay with that. So, but yeah, side note. Because he wanted to go and have fun. Is there logic there? Is there actually logic there? We also need to address the fact that he twists the words, okay? The survivor didn't leave, okay? The survivor didn't DC, the survivor didn't just rage quit. The survivor went through his whole first stage, realized that this bubble was going to camp him until he died, so just let it happen quicker.
So again, I feel like you're trying to normalise poor behaviour. I have to say it again, it's not my job to make sure the survivor is having fun, which you agree with that.
It's also not the survivor's job to make sure that other survivors are having fun.
At the start of the video. This is what this guy's doing. He's saying, the killer made the game unfun for me, so rather than just wait 60 seconds, as a courtesy to the people that I queued up with, that I lobbied with, who are right now trying to do gens to escape, fuck them. Just give up. Whatever.
And this guy compares it to coming up against a bully squad.
As I mentioned earlier, a bully squad can make the killer feel powerless. As a lover of cinema, of horror franchises, seeing Freddy Krueger become like a punching bag for these group of survivors, the teabag crew, it is a nightmare for me. It hits hard for me that, behaviour has created an environment where the survivor is more important than the killer franchises that has brought people to the game.
And they haven't. They've just created an environment where the survivor can actually have a chance of beating the killer. They're not doing it as a middle finger to Freddy Krueger. They brought Freddy Krueger in because they loved the license and wanted people to be able to play as him. Admittedly, I don't think they did well with the Freddy Krueger license, but that's besides the point. They brought the licenses in because they love horror. Their game is not anything to do with that. That's just, these are essentially just skins on the gameplay skeletons. I don't know if that makes sense, but my point is, you getting mad at the fact that killers are punching bags, as you said, it just feels weird because it's a game and it's not real life. I don't know. Moving on. The fact that he calls it toxic.
I felt it was toxic.
Someone needs to buy a dictionary for this man and teach him what toxicity actually is.
I personally think that the word toxic is the ultimate subjective word in Dead by Daylight. I think that different people who play on either sides will have different ideas of what they think is toxic. Survivors probably think slugging's toxic, face camping's toxic, but again, it's all my commentary on my own channel.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. The word toxic gets thrown around a lot in the Dead by Daylight community, and it tries to encompass far more than I think is actually accurate. So yeah, I could actually agree with you there that toxic is a subjective word. On that logic, I do feel like leaving a game because you're not having fun isn't toxic. I still maintain that, but yeah, all right, fair enough. I agree with that. To make up this whole bullshit reason about why he thinks that this guy is in the wrong because he let himself die on Hook, which as a killer main surely is better for you.
Just because something benefits me doesn't mean that I'm okay with it. If someone disconnects, even for totally random reason, it still makes me feel like, the remaining survivors have been cheated. I was sticking up for the people in the game that were on the other team because I thought it was toxic.
But why are you sticking up for the survivors when you've been saying for the longest time that you're a killer and you don't care about survivors and you're playing that role? I don't understand why now suddenly you care. You know, it feels very weird that suddenly you give a shit. Very strange to me, but fair enough. So you'll notice immediately what he does is he goes straight into the chat, puts GG, easy, 2K.
So just a quick one here. Killers are immediately on a 4v1 in the endgame chat. So you've got 4 different people that may have thought the way you played wasn't what they wanted. I may not have created the fun they were looking for. You know, obviously at my expense. You know, let people go. They have fun and I have to chase them. A preemptive strike with the whole GG easy as killer, I feel it's okay. You know, I feel it's within the whole cheekiness role of the survivor. The stuff that killers get thrown is horrendous. You know, get cancer, die, wish your family dies. Really horrific stuff. I've actually got about 350 comments just now on my profile where, you know, the endgame chat wasn't enough for the survivor. You know, they had to come out again onto my profile to comment. Just like they do on my Twitch stream, they come out and they hurl abuse. Because what? Because the game wasn't fun for them? Remember, it's not my job to make sure the game is fun for them. Let's just clear this thing up about the whole face camping thing as well, because it's quite important.
The whole point of
but what? You're talking about a preemptive strike? But no. Okay, so this is a thing which I think the survivor community, not survivor, sorry, the Dead by Daylight community is constantly saying. I actually covered it in a previous video. This idea that the community is toxic, so I get to be toxic. No. If you truly believe, like you just said, that, yeah, survivors hurl some truly horrendous stuff at killers. By the way, killers do the exact same thing. All right, you again have tried to lump survivors as the problem. No, people who play killer are just as much of the problem as survivors. If you're a problem, it doesn't matter who you play, what you play, or when you play it, you're a problem. And you saying that because survivors in the past have hurled some horrible stuff, that now gives you the right to go in and immediately put something in the chat, which you know is going to piss people off. You say it's cheeky. No, it's going to piss people off. Like, you are literally bragging about the fact that you got a 2K. You're GG easy. You're basically saying that they didn't play well, that you had an easy time, that you weren't challenged. Like, come on, man. You can't say, oh, I put a preemptive strike in, and then try and play a victim card of, look at all these horrible comments that I got, when you literally, before anybody can say a word, are trying to piss people off. Okay, your gameplay aside, the fact that you go into the endgame chat and put GG easy 2K is going to piss people off. I don't get how you can't see that. I don't get how you think it's okay for you to do that because you have received horrible stuff in the past. But I get shit all the time. I've had trolls come into my stream and give me shit because I'm in part of the Alphabet Mafia. I've had people give me shit because I've beat them in a game. I've had people give me shit because they beat me in a game. But my choice off the back of that is to go and try and spread positivity. It's to try and be making sure, it's try and make sure that I put GG well played at the end of every match. It's to try and make sure that I'm a good sportsman. It's to try and make sure that I don't become the problem that I'm apparently now talking about. Like you saying, oh, look at all these horrible messages I've got. Look at all the shit you send to other people. You think that's okay? That doesn't make any sense, bud. Doesn't make any sense at all. Why have you got this stream up? Okay, let's find out what this is about.
Camping, or like part of how camping is intentionally balanced, is that it keeps a killer distracted if you're camping and lets the survivors go and fix gens and get out. We admit that it kind of sucks for the guy on the hook. We're not super happy about that, and there's some things that we've talked about and scenarios to rebalance it. We don't want camping to be super appealing to killers, at least from I would like to kill them.
Bad strategy. We all know that.
Yeah, we want it to be a bad strategy. Right? We want it to be something that is punished by the survivors if you're camping. So are we going to punish campers like in terms of bans or any kind of like making it a reportable offense? No, we're not going to do that. We may rebalance elements of it in the future to be even less appealing to face camping killers, but that's the intention.
Probably what reassurance is.
You can do it if you want, but it's just a bad idea.
So here you can see the dev state that face camping is not reportable or bannable. It's just a strategy. They think it's a bad one.
Dude, what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? I'm confused as to why you brought that up. Like, yeah, they say it's not reportable or bannable, but you're not talking about that. You were talking about hate messages. Did I miss some? I feel like I might miss something. I don't know. Moving on. Someone had to save you, Meg. You had to rely on others for you to live. Yeah, it's kind of how the game works. If you're hooked, you need to be unhooked. That's how it works.
Just because something can happen in-game, because the mechanics are there, doesn't mean that's how the game works. So as a camping bubba, I can say that, normally people don't come to save. My big gripe was simple, but I'll try to clear it up. When a survivor makes a smart move, so let's say they play really, really well, they chase me for a lot of gens and they're really skillful, I'll say it on the stream, this guy's a gamer, this guy's good. Even on the bad guy, I can still recognise gameplay that's good and say it's good and respect it. What I don't appreciate, though, is survivors who haven't made those plays, who have, not rescued anybody off the hook or managed to survive through some, skill or some, sort of plan that they've had. Someone who actually died on the hook because this person was saved. They traded places. My respect is with the guy who died on the hook, not the guy who got carried out the gate. It's like someone who sits on the bench the entire season and gets like a winner's medal because they were part of the team. I'm glad you escaped. Good, you've got your medal, but don't brag about it. You haven't done anything to earn that. And again, that's my opinion on my stream.
They're not okay. You put GG easy, they put GG easy. You talk about you can put in some cheeky thing. They responded with your energy, bud. And would they have put that if you hadn't put GG easy? We will never know, unfortunately. But I do maintain that, saving people off hook is part of the game. It's how the game works, because that's literally why survivors can unhook. You saying that, it takes no skill to be unhooked. No, it doesn't. True, yeah, but it's not meant to be a skillful play to get unhooked. I don't understand. Okay, in all honesty, I don't understand what this point is that you've made. It feels like you're saying that because this person had to be unhooked, they are not skilled at the game and therefore don't deserve your respect. But you put GG easy first. They replied to you with GG easy, and you're mad about their GG easy, which is a common thread with you, to be fair. And second, it's how the game works. Do you think that when somebody gets hooked, they just should be left on hook because they're not skilled if they got hooked? And they should, what, do they need to 360 the hook and get off themselves? I don't understand. Moving on. I just don't understand. One of the TTVs then puts, you camped the hook, and he puts, yeah, I did, because I dictate the gameplay, you rat survivor. Remember your place.
Survivor was angry because I camped the hook as the killer, and the fact that this guy thought that, he could tell me how to play is quite insulting. I'm going to be killing survivors that are trying to escape. And the fact that I want to confirm my kills by standing at the hook is my choice. It's something that I can do, and again, as a playstyle in the game.
Remember your place. He dead ass, in all seriousness, puts remember your place in the endgame chat.
I'm playing the role of a killer who eats people and wears their bloody skin as a mask. We're talking about Leatherface here.
But you're not Leatherface. This is another human you're talking to, who is not somebody in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, I understand role-playing. I do. It's fun. I've seen people on Twitch who role-play. They wear the whole Bubba mask and they wear Maya's mask, and it's all really fun and games, but they know the line. And this is why I think you're unhinged, because you don't understand that line. You can't tell somebody remember your place when you're talking to another human being. You are not in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, my guy. You are not Leatherface. You are not Bubba, as much as I'm calling you Bubba in this video. You are not any of those things when the game is over. And this is the game over, by the way. The endgame chat is not part of the game. It's a way for you guys to talk about the game. Game's over. Trial's over. It's done. You won. You lost. Doesn't matter. It's done. You are it feels like you're trying to cover up your obvious hatred and horrible words that I've said that you've done. And I've got footage of you doing, and you're trying to cover it up by saying, yeah, I was playing the role. No, I think you either, one, need to understand the line of where the role ends, or two, you need to just take responsibility for the fact that you have said some horrible things. Personally. I don't think this guy is an actual person. I think he's fake. Somebody has set him up as a trap for me to find and make a video about.
I don't think you like that I'm enjoying that particular playstyle. I do play every killer. You know, if you've watched my streams, you'll see I play Freddy and Pinhead and all these fantastic, you know, killers.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Some people don't get into games when they play them. I do. I'm emotionally invested in the game that I'm playing because for me, games are about entertainment. You know, it's escapism. It's just an art form that these guys have created for us. I enjoy lots of roles and lots of games. I'm a big Total War guy. Been playing for over 20 years. Played on a role-playing PvP server on Warcraft for many years. You know, I could be the Lone Wanderer in Fallout or the sneaky range Khajiit guy in Skyrim. Remember, I have never once said the guy that's playing as Meg is, you know, a piece of shit or scum or something like that, or that Bill in real life is XYZ and I hope this happens to them. Never do that at all. It's all about the survivor.
But you do call people cocky bastards when they come into their stream. You call them rat survivors in the endgame chat. Again, role-playing, fine, but know the line, man. You gotta know the line. You gotta know the line. And again, I'm not commenting on your gameplay. If you want to have fun with camping Bubba, basement Bubba, whatever it is, fine, you crack on. I actually enjoy a good basement Bubba every now and then because it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I have never once commented on your gameplay. I've commented on your behavior around the gameplay. It's the fact that you have the audacity to tell people to remember their place as if you are somehow above them. And again, you say, yeah, I'm the killer. That puts me above them. No, it doesn't. These are people. These are humans. These are real people who are playing the game like you. And just because you want to roleplay to the point where it kind of becomes a bit worrying does not mean that everybody else has to deal with that bullshit. No. These are people. These are humans. And they are going to take offense when you put in the endgame chat, you rat survivor, GG easy, all this kind of stuff. You cannot hide behind the fact that you are playing as Bubba to try and say all that stuff. Because, like, if we want to go down that route, Bubba would not know how to type in a fucking endgame chat, would he? Okay? He wouldn't know how to call people rat survivors. He wouldn't put GG easy. Okay? So if you want to go down that path, then what you need to do is not fucking type in the endgame chat. I'm getting riled up. I apologize. I need to take a step back because it feels like you are not taking accountability. It feels like you are not taking responsibility. You're trying to hide behind this idea of, I'm a gamer, I'm a role player. No, man. Like, there is a line, and when the game ends, let's take football. When the game ends in football, everybody shakes hands and they give each other a hug. And they're like, yeah, GG, well played. They don't go and continue trying to fucking meg the person by kicking the ball through their legs. There's just a line, and you don't understand the line. It goes on to say, whatever your hours are in the game, divide it by 4. My game time is chase time. Your game time is repairing generators 75% of the time. Boring XD.
The killer can only chase one survivor at a time. There's 4 survivors. That means that 75% of the survivors are not getting chased at any one time. This is why I feel killers are more in tune with what's really happening with patches and updates and stuff, because their game is all about the chase. It's chase, until you down somebody, etc.
First of all, why are you just making... What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand what that means. We weren't... Okay, that wasn't anything to do with what I actually commented on in the game, personally, I don't feel like. And I also think your statistic of 75% is wrong. It's a very dumbed down statistic because you're not thinking about... the fact that sometimes the killer isn't chasing anyone. The killer is kicking a gen. The killer is walking away from the unhook. All of those kind of stuff should factor into that, but fair enough. Picking up statistics. But I can do the exact same thing because you're chatting shit. Your game time is not chasing. I would say 24.6% of your game time is chasing. The rest of it is spent staring at survivors on the hook.
Sure, I mean, when I'm playing Bubba, one of the 28 other killers that you can play, I'm going to be defending the hook. That doesn't mean I'm AFK. It means that I'm ready to essentially fight off the wolves. And here's a few clips of me defending the hook.
I didn't say you were AFK, bud. And defending the hook, you can call it camping, you can call it defending the hook, you can call it whatever you want. It's still the same thing.
Hook defended.
I don't understand why we're just watching gameplay at the moment. I shouldn't have hit. How does this? What does this have anything to do with the statistic thing we were talking about? I'm so confused as to why you're just. Also, how does hitting people on hook help you defend the hook? If you're talking about this is me defending the hook, how is this helping you defend the hook? This is you. Oh my god, the fact that the ace walked into that is ridiculous, but fair enough. This is you.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I agree with that. What the fuck?
Is that?
This is you taking the piss out of the survivor you got on hook by hitting them and spinning around in circles while chainsawing. This doesn't feel like defending the hook to me. This is you kind of, as you would put it, being cheeky. Again, nodding. You don't need to nod to defend the hook. Life, nice.
Boom goes the dynamite.
I don't think that's more entertaining, personally, than watching somebody on a gen. At least with a gen, there's skill checks. Keeps it a little bit fresh.
If you think getting a down and defending that person from all the little altruistic survivors is more fun than doing a skill check, I mean, again, what I enjoy, my opinions, you'll find on Twitch, and that's why I play Killer and not Survivor. If you find Survivor, fun, then great. Play for you, fantastic. You've got...
Kind of taking clips out of context there, but fair enough. Me saying that I don't find you staring at a hook more fun than doing a generator, because at least when you do a generator, there are skill checks, still stands. You defending the hook relies on people coming over and trying to be altruistic, but that doesn't always happen. Those clips that you showed are not your entire experience. That is a select few. And like, yeah, that does happen sometimes. And when that happens, yeah, it's probably more fun than sitting on the gen. I'm not gonna try and deny that. But me, that wasn't my statement. I said that staring at a person who is on hook, staring at a person who is on hook doing nothing else is not more fun than being on a generator. You took that way out of context, and you did that in your editing as well. So I'm just, that's kind of a point that I'm making.
To love the cheekiness, get good after they have to be rescued from the hook because they got downed. They were essentially on death's door until somebody else came in, to intervene.
Because how the game works. That's how the game works. Yep. You get downed, you get hooked, you get unhooked. That doesn't mean you're a bad survivor. That's how the game works.
Getting unhooked doesn't make you a bad survivor. No, not at all. But acting as if you were, the mastermind behind my demise, as the guy who unhooked you dies and you escape, I wouldn't be bragging about it. Again, my 2 cents.
But they didn't do that. They replied to your GG easy. You started that. You started that little back and forth. They didn't start that. And they didn't act like the mastermind. They were just giving you what you gave them.
But half the time doing gens, half the time rubbing cars.
You've cut out a lot there. You've jumped. So, I talked about him finding Scouse streamers and just starting to take the piss out of Scousers for some reason. So I don't know why you've cut that out. Again, you've cut out weird parts of my video, whereas you've reacted to every second of the rest of it, and I don't know why you've done that. But fair enough. There was a thing I led up to here where he just basically found out that a Twitch streamer he had went up against was a Scouse, and this was the first thing he did, basically. He just started going on them for being Scouse. Something I didn't mention in the original video as well was that somebody in his chat actually did it before the game had even ended. They had gone over to this person's stream, found out he was a Scouse, and put a comment about them being Scouse with like laughing faces in the chat. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I have it on footage if anybody wants to see it. And he, when he found out they were Scouse, was like, oh yeah, they're Scouse, so it makes sense. But you've called that out, so fair enough.
Robin fucking Kaz.
Oh, we're going down that route, are we? Okay. I don't know why he brings it in and acts like everybody in Liverpool spends 50% of their days on generators in Dead by Daylight and then 50% of their days stealing cars.
So before you asked if I was real, that there was no way that I could be real, I need to ask you now, I mean, you know, is this shenanigans? This is clearly me doing an impersonation of somebody for a joke, for comedy, right? You know, humour. My poor attempt at humour.
Well, like scrumping. When I was a kid back in Liverpool, we used to always go scrumping. Oh, stealing apples, that's hardly a crime, sir. But me and my mates, we used to go scrumping for cars.
Yeah, that's a real common Liverpool stereotype. Yeah, and I'm obviously taking your words and satiring them. You use the stereotype, so I took the piss out of the stereotype about you trying to use the stereotype. It's the same thing, really. Stereotype I hear, actually, yeah, it's because it was a ridiculous stereotype. Someone then comes into his chat, presumably from the other place, and says, "Eat shit, dickhead."
You fucking what? You're gonna cook some chicken? Some chicken?
That's a real good comeback, bud. You're gonna cook some chicken. You know what? When someone tells me to eat shit, I also say you're gonna cook some chicken.
The thing that you didn't show was the person came into my stream. This is the end game chat not being enough and then wanting to take it further coming into my stream. See, this person comes in and starts being abusive to me, and how do I react? I try to continue the joke, you know, try to sort of de-escalate the situation before my mods have to come in and ban them and stuff.
I think we... How is that okay, so how is that de-escalating the situation? Somebody came in and told you to eat shit, dickhead, and you take the piss out of them further, and you think that's de-escalating the situation? No. And also, you said I didn't show it. I did show it because I literally said in my video, this person came in and said this. But another thing is that one thing I didn't show, to be fair, is that the person who came into his chat was not from the people he played against. Well, it wasn't one of the people he played against. I think it was somebody from the Originals community. And there was a considerable amount of time between the end of that game and this interaction, as you can see by the fact that he's loaded into a whole new lobby. And during that time, he was sprouting his bad impersonations of Scousers for no reason, other than the fact that he went into their stream and heard that they were Scouse, which I believe I spoke about in the video. But if I didn't, let's just clear that up. We also have to talk about the absolute hilarious irony of this Scottish man sitting here and taking the piss out of typical Scouse traits, you know, being very stereotypical and trying to use it as insults.
No, see, I'm trying to have a laugh. I understand that doing an accent might not be your humour, but lots of people find it funny. Here's a Harry.
Actually, doing accents is kind of really my humour. The difference is I don't insult people with my accents. I don't use it as an insult. I use it because I like doing accents. I find it fun. I'll do an Aussie accent, a Brummy accent, a Scottish accent. I'll do all sorts. But you use it as insults, and just because it's your humor and you find it funny does not mean that it's not still going to be... It's not still going to come across as insulting. Now, for example, when somebody came into the chat and said, "Eat shit, dickhead," after you had done those Scouse impressions, if you truly wanted to de-escalate the situation, you should have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I meant nothing by it. I apologize. You know, I was just messing around." And there you go. That's de-escalating the situation. You've made your point known, but instead, you continued it. What's this? I'm going to go back 5 seconds to let him make his point. As insults.
No, see, I'm trying to have a laugh. I understand that doing an accent might not be your humour, but lots of people find it funny. Here's a Harry Enfield clip.
From the 1990s?
That's my video. Give that back. Yeah, but that's my freaking Nintendo. Hey, but that's my CD player. You thieving bastard. Hey, people like you were giving Scousers a bad name. Oh, yeah.
And doing an accent is fun, and you should try it. Here's a Scottish comedian called Limmy. He's doing some...
Okay, but you've just shown a clip where the whole point of that clip was to take the piss out of Scousers. And you're saying that it's funny, it's fine, it's funny. That doesn't mean that it's okay. Just because you find it funny and just because other people may find it funny does not mean that it makes it okay. Okay, that clip is very much designed to make Scousers look like they are thieves and idiots, essentially, by the look of it. I don't know much of Harry Enfield's work, but from the 1990s, 30 odd years ago, fair enough. But like, you're kind of just proving my point, where I'm like, you can't take the piss out of people and expect it to be okay because you find it funny. What you find funny may not be what other people find funny. And if somebody is basically making it known that they don't find it funny, you shouldn't continue doing it and act like you're the victim because they don't like it, or because I've called you out on it. Go back 5 again.
An accent is fun, and you should try it.
I do.
A Scottish comedian called Limmy. He's doing some Scouse accents.
I sometimes do a Liverpudlian accent, and I go like, wech, loch, wech. And some of you go like, nobody in Liverpool speaks like that. And then I watched this video, I was like, this is the one.
Now, depending on your immunisation status, you'll either need to do a test on day 2 after you've come home, or day 2 and day 8, directly to Randox, or you can organise in these samples directly to Randox, or you can organise...
Or you can look...
And then having... Right, but do you notice how in that clip he never insults Scousers? He never says that they steal cars. He never uses it to antagonize the Scousers. He uses it as a way of like, this is me doing my accent. You guys say it's a bad accent, but look, here's proof. Here's a Scouser who speaks like that. And I'm speaking the same, therefore my accent is good. He never once uses it against Scousers. And that's the line. That's the difference. You can't... Your attempt was to attack them. You were doing it because you thought it was funny to take the piss out of them, and you were using stereotypes as well as the accent. It's not just the accent. This person wasn't. They were just using an accent. Your Harry Enfield clip, by the way, is very different from the Limmy clip. Very, very different. Very different types of humor. In fact, I don't even think Limmy's making a joke necessarily. He's just kind of saying, hey, look, I got the accent right. But, you know, like, there is a line. There's a difference between those. The Freedom sound clip from Braveheart playing as a follower alert.
So the reason I have the whole Freedom from Braveheart thing playing is because, well, you know, Tyrion said it best, never forget what you are. The rest of the world won't. Wear it like armour, and it can never be used to hurt you. Also because I'm a lover of ancient history and, you know, Scottish independence wars and stuff like that. I'm sorry if that upsets you.
Did I say it upset me? No, I said it was ironic. Irony, I feel like he wouldn't know it if it slapped him in the face.
I really feel like you wouldn't know humour, you know? But then again, I don't watch your streams.
You talk about humour, but your humour is insulting people and making people feel like shit. It's not humour, bud.
Even the Scottish know of the purple Aki.
Now, I had to look this up because I didn't know what purple Aki was, but I was curious. The name Purple Aki is a name for someone who has been
fan in the back of my video sounds
shit. Which, by the way, is a British slang word for a paedophile. The trigger warning, we're going to talk about some of these topics in brief detail. But Purple Aki in particular refers to one guy who was, he became infamous in the northwest of England for inappropriately approaching and touching young men. That's what he's referring to. So he's first of all making a joke about a paedophile in regards to Liverpool, which is a bit weird.
Again, I appreciate it's not your humour. I actually only made reference to the local Liverpool boogeyman as a joke. But then again, I've never actually heard anybody make a joke like this before. No Jimmy Savile jokes, no pedo jokes. Never heard of this before.
Again, 1998.
3 life sentences. The spokesman said, you think you know a guy, and then he goes and does something like that.
Have we got any letters at all? Yeah, Louise Carpenter from Shrewsbury says, Dear Frank and David, my 8-year-old daughter loved the Jimmy Savile World Cup comment slot that you did at the beginning of the series. She keeps asking, what has happened to it? Will it be back?
8-year-old girls love Jimmy Savile, though, don't they? And of course... Anyway, I won't go on.
Yeah, he loves her slot. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're not... Sorry, I paused it too early.
I went on that show. I wanted to meet a geezer called Martin Chivers, right? He used to play for Spurs. He could throw the ball a long way, and I fancied a bit of that. It never came off. Thank God for that. I was a stunner when I was 9. I was.
I'd simulate the feeling of paedophilia by getting Jeremy Beadle to wank me off with his tiny hand. Savile, man, he had his own TV show. The other pedos must have been raging. I've got a TV show that makes children's dreams come true. What have you got? A transit van and a big bag of apples? Fuck off.
And that's the big thing here. You know, my humour and your humour are apparently not on the same level, and that's all right. But, you know, all this is taking place on my channel with me making my commentary, making jokes and stuff. No one is making you stay here at all, so, you know, you're not trapped. Now, I should have just banned the guy, but I tried to win him over with my, terrible impersonations. My bad, I guess, on that one.
Okay, so let's first of all talk about the clips you mentioned. Now, if you go back and watch every single one of those clips, you'll notice that the jokes are aimed at the perpetrator of the crime, whether that's Jimmy Savile or whoever else the other people mentioned. If you had made a joke aimed at this Aki guy, fair enough. He deserves it. He's an arsehole. But you didn't. You made a joke aimed at any Scouser with reference to Aki. And you talk about like your humor, but you don't understand how they do their humor. They do their humor by aiming the joke at the right person. You aim it at random people on the internet. I don't understand how that's not clear. And what I'm trying to say is that like you making this generalization towards all Scousers with a joke about a pedophile is not okay. If you had made a joke about the pedophile, aimed at the pedophile, fine. Everybody would laugh at that because that's what, as you can see in those clips, people do. But that's not about the type of humor. That's about knowing how to tell a joke and knowing who a joke should be aimed at. Those are different things. Also, you said like I'm not trapped on your stream. I didn't say I was. And you said that you're saying all this on your stream, so it's okay. I'm sorry, if you were spouting homophobia and racism and bigotry, would that be okay because it's on your stream? Probably not. So that's not really a fair thing to say. You're putting this out there on the internet. And yeah, it's your channel and you can run it how you want. But you can't expect to not face criticism if you're doing things that offend people. Despite whether it's your channel or not, it doesn't actually matter. Moving on. And also, the name Purple Aki actually has some racist connotations because the person it's talking about was actually black, which is what the purple refers to.
So if referring to this guy as Purple Aki is racist somehow, then please, stop the people who are pumping the information, that I'm taking. So the BBC, or maybe if, you want to go for another Scotsman, Count Dankula has a video on Purple Aki as well.
It's amazing. Everyone in Liverpool has heard of Purple Aki.
So not only is this guy... Did you look it up? Did you look up the name? It was in like the first 5 articles that had racist connotations to it. Did you look it up at all? Or did you just look for videos with the name and the title of it? Like, yeah, people using that word is still a problem. And to be fair, I would say that the BBC documentary or whatever it was, and this other YouTuber still need to be aware of what the name means. And they still need to be aware of the racist connotations that are attached to it. And that's honestly why I made this comment, because you are making a comment that has racist connotations. You need to be aware of that, and I'm not trying to say that you are racist for saying it, because you probably didn't know about it, fine. But being aware of the fact that a certain name has a certain connotation is important. It's how we as a society will hopefully progress to people not being insulted. And yeah, if you look it up, the name Purple Aki has racist connotations. It refers to his skin color. Okay, it doesn't matter if other people have used it. It's still there. It's still a thing. You can't hide behind the fact that other people have used it and think that makes it okay, because it doesn't. Guy insulting Liverpool with a reference to a paedophile and how the paedophile is going to get them, but he's also using a racist connotation name.
So this is the reason that myself, as like a newbie streamer, wanted to make a response video on it. This is where I feel like you've really crossed the line for me. Everything else before was kind of like, I would sort of leave it. But what you're trying to do here is you're trying to put me in a box with racist written on it. Because I've referenced a documentary that I watched on the BBC. Really not on. You're making a massive leap here. Racism's disgusting. And, I've nothing but time for anyone else who has experienced that sort of thing before. But you want to turn this group of people against me. Why? Because we all know racism's wrong, and you want to be the right guy. You want to be the sort of guy leading the charge. Well, I'm not racist, and it's disgusting.
Fair enough. You know what? If it came across as me calling you racist, I apologize. That wasn't meant to be the point of it. And I wasn't trying to put you in this box of racism. What I was trying to say is that you have used a word with racist connotations. You have been a bit naive and foolish in your choice of words, and not only have you made a reference to a paedophile, but you've also made a reference to a paedophile that has racist connotations. I wasn't trying to put you in a box of racists. If I wanted to say you were racist, I would say you were racist. I don't think you are. I think you've just used a poorly thought out word, and I don't think you've done enough research into the word to understand what it meant. I'm surprised that this BBC documentary that you referenced didn't talk about that, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. My point was more just to say, like, be careful of the words you're using, and especially if you're using them in a way of like you're using them to insult people and to perpetuate a stereotype. You've got to be careful of the shit that you use. And that was my point. Again, I apologize if it made you come across as a racist. Judging from my comments, I don't think anybody thinks you're racist. I haven't seen anybody even comment on that, so I don't think that has happened. But again, I do apologize if that's how it has come across. And if you have genuinely had people call you racist, that's my bad. And I take responsibility for that, and I apologize. But to make it clear, I don't think you're racist. I think that you have not done enough research and you're using words. Like, for example, let me make it personal. I recently uploaded a video on my channel about a blendette. Now, in that video, I say that word multiple times, because it's what I knew in the game was right. I'm referring to a Claudette who can sit in bushes and blend into the bushes and not be found by the killer. But somebody in my comments said, "Hey, this word is actually not accepted by the community of people of color. It references them in a negative way. You should probably stop using this, etc., etc." And I appreciate that they probably put it in a better way than I did, and that's where I take the responsibility. But the point still stood of like, hey, like, you've used this word, it's kind of bad, don't use it. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, my bad. Moving on. You seem to see this as a personal attack of me saying this, and it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was me making a comment about something that you had said, and if this was the whole reason you made the responsibility video, I do find that interesting. But yeah, I think that I did miscommunicate to begin with, and I apologize. I think that you could have not taken it as personally as what I had said, because I never said the words "you are racist." I said you were using a word with racist connotations. I feel like I'm going in circles, so I'm going to move on to that. But bottom line is, I apologize. I could have said it better. But yeah, so that's good. We've stepped into that territory.
No, mate, you have. You deliberately chose to say what you said because you're building your audience's hate towards myself. So much so, but by the end of the video, this awful person deserves what's coming to him, and more on that later.
But I haven't sent anybody to you. I never said your name. I never said anything about who you are. I wasn't building hate towards you. I was just commenting on the things that you had done and said. And I mean, you said more on that later, so we'll wait for it for later, but I don't feel like that's fair to say. Isn't that nice? But it's not over there. He says more.
You can always trust a Scouser to rob you blind.
Great. Nice little
Scousers are like, second-class Geordies.
Second-class
Geordies have got a funny accent, but at least they're, brand new people.
Now you're insulting the Geordies.
Liverpudlians. So if I wasn't joking, how would calling a Scouser a second-class Geordie insult the Geordie somehow? Remember, I'm the one who needs to eat shit. I'm a dickhead. I'm an absolute arsehole. I need to get good. I'm a Scottish cunt, a weirdo, and then worse.
Yeah, the person did put some really horrible stuff in the chat, to be fair, and yeah, I don't condone the shit they said. It was horrible. I find it interesting how you blurred your people's names. Interesting, but fair enough. This person kept putting horrible stuff, by the way, like eat shit, dickhead, absolute asshole, get good, Scottish cunt, all that stuff, because you kept going with your Liverpudlian bullshit. You kept insulting them with your accent, with your stereotypes, and they were responding to it. Now, I don't think that that's any justification for the fact that they said what they said at the bottom there, and using the R word and all that kind of stuff. But you do have to kind of take responsibility for the fact that you were insulting them as much as they were insulting you. and you were kind of fueling the situation and not de-escalating at all. And you're playing a victim card here, but you gotta take that responsibility.
Actually, just having a fucking, you know, I have nothing against the people from Liverpool at all.
Yeah, you're really convincing me of that one.
I'm really sorry, but if you can't see that I was trying to make a joke, then, you know, GG from me. If you take everything I say and remove all context from it, you know, all emotions, all the situations and stuff, you could paint me however you want.
You got nothing. What did I remove? What context did I remove? You started on Scousers for no reason. You brought stereotypes and insults into it. You made them all out to be thieves. You said they were second grade Geordies, and you're like, I'm trying to have a laugh, and that makes it okay. No, you're still insulting people, bud. You're not doing what you think you're doing, and you can't put that on me not understanding it or taking things out of context, because I've taken nothing out of context. Think against the people of Liverpool, you've just sat for a good 5-10 minutes throwing every insult under the sun at them. Mm-hmm. Sure.
Remember, it was actually the person from Liverpool throwing every insult at me.
Victim card.
I was trying to move on, get on with the stream stuff. I was talking about gameplay, you know, stream stuff, throwing in some humour. You make it sound like I was actually having a serious go at the people for Liverpool, you know, the Scousers. But this is, again, you trying to put me in the Liverpool hater box. And the Geordie hater box as well. It makes your attitude more justified. If anyone asks, you were just sticking up for the Scousers, right?
The one thing I'm not putting you in any box. What you keep talking about boxes. I didn't say you were having a serious go at them. I was saying you were insulting them and you were perpetuating stereotypes. You again have just played a victim card, being like, but this person was insulting me. You started it. You started that fight. Before this person had even come into your stream, you were putting on your Liverpudlian accent and saying that Scousers only spend their time repairing gens and rubbing cars, as you said it. And you think that people aren't going to react to that? You think that you're somehow the person who is the victim? When you started it, that's like going up to someone in the street, punching them, then punching you back, and you go into a police officer and being like, that person hit me, completely negating the fact that you started the fight. You can't do that. That's not how it works. You have to take responsibility for your part in that situation. And your part in that situation was the antagonizer. You were the antagonistic person in that whole conversation. And you weren't trying to get on with the stream because you kept going with making the insults. If you truly wanted to move on from it, you would have, one, banned the person as soon as they started saying horrible stuff. You were within your power to do that, but you didn't. Or two, you could have said, all right, look, man, fair enough, this has gone a bit too far. Let's dial it back. I didn't mean to insult you. Or I've insulted, we've had a bit of a back and forth. Now let's move on. But you didn't say any of that. You kept insulting them. Take the responsibility, please. Thing I kept thinking was, why does he hate survivors so much?
Again, Bubba hates the survivors. I don't hate any gamers. We're all a bunch of nerds.
You're not Bubba, bud. And if you truly think that you are Bubba, to the extent that you seem to, you need to have a think about that, because you're not Bubba. You're just not. The person comes into his chat and says, wasn't that extremely boring for you?
Oh, dude, I love it. The thing is, right, you dirty bastard survivors choose to do the generators. You could come and try and save them. They would try and get a bit of an escape going, but you'd rather just do the gens.
Mm-hmm. Because it makes sense against a face camping Bubba. That's the smart thing to do, is do your gens, get out, move on to the next game.
So note that I'm making all my comments here towards the survivors. Not anyone's username. Again, it's not personal. Bubba just doesn't like when survivors don't come and play. I don't play Survivor, but if I did, I think that I would actually want to get involved with the killer. Doing a gen and getting out for me would be really boring. I'd rather come for the save, maybe fail and die, bit of fun, and you know what, the next game's coming right after this one, so again, it's all fun for me, but there we are.
I mean, fair enough. If that's how you would play Survivor, fair enough. Crack on, bud. Yeah, but not everybody wants to die in the game. Not everybody wants to not escape, and more people might be more interested in getting as many points as they can and then escaping. And just because that's not the way you would play doesn't make it wrong and doesn't give you the right to insult them. Also, I'm not going to entertain this idea of, you notice how I was saying this to the survivor? No. Earlier on, you've actually contradicted yourself here, because earlier on you said that you never bring this into the Twitch chat. Okay, you said that when it comes to the game and the endgame chat, you're playing the role of Bubba. This person came into the endgame chat and tried to start a conversation with you by saying, wasn't that boring? You called them dirty survivor bastards or whatever it was, and then again tried to pretend that you were Bubba. Like, I'm not accepting this. I'm not going to entertain this whole idea of I'm Bubba and I'm playing a role anymore, because you are using it way too much to try and not take responsibility for your actions. You insulted a random person who came into your stream. That was a real person. And you can say I didn't use their usernames. No. Don't try and hide behind that. It's a bullshit reason. You insulted this person when they came into your chat and tried to start a conversation with you. So all of your previous stuff about how you deal with survivors and how you are actually the person who leaves it in the game goes out the window with this. It absolutely goes out the window. And this hiding you're trying to do behind I'm just Bubba, I'm just playing as Bubba, no, doesn't work anymore. You've killed it with all of this.
Okay, dude, whatever. I mean, like, you know, just because you're called something, I mean, I could call myself the best lover in the world, and even though in that case it is true, it might not be true. Again, our humour's maybe different. I don't mind having a joke at myself and stuff. I think it's a really human thing to do.
As Basement Bubba, you don't really play for points. Oh yeah, but you didn't make a joke at the expense of yourself, did you? You made a joke that bigged up your ego. Whereas when it comes to everybody else, you make a joke at their expense. Different. You play for the sheer thrill of it, I guess, and you know, to have a little bit of a meme time. But this is a response to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about points. I'm here for the punishment.
Punishment?
Yeah, Bubba's playing to punish his survivors for daring to challenge him. I don't know if you've actually seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but you know, here's an interaction of Bubba getting introduced to the first victim.
Are you actually showing me the Texas Chainsaw Massacre right now? You understand that says the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1974 and not Dead by Daylight 2022, right? Hello? Just as a point. Bonk. This film's so weird. Oh, it's been so long since I watched this film. It's such a bizarre piece of cinema, to be honest.
This guy here, for example, Banjo, he may think he's going to have a great game, some good chases, but he's going to get downed and he's going on a hook.
He's literally saying he goes out of his way to ruin the games for survivors.
I like to pick a target in the lobby when I'm a killer. I don't know why I'm not allowed to do that. You know, is this your rules you've came up with or something, sorry? Do you see how far it's come? He's went from, it's not my job to make survivors have fun, to me ruining games.
Yeah, all right, yeah, it's not your job to make survivors have fun, but it's also not your job to go out of your way to make sure the survivors don't have fun to the maximum degree. Like, it's not your job to ruin the games for survivors. And yeah, like, camping somebody on hook, not letting them do anything but sit on a hook for the rest of the game is ruining the game for them. Whether you think it's fun for you or not, it's not going to be fun for the survivor. You have no empathy in that regard. And again, like, you may say, hey, the Bubba has no empathy. Fine. You're not Bubba, but fine. I've come away with the conclusion that he genuinely thinks he is on some sort of glorious crusade.
I think we can all agree that, you know, the whole idea of the crusades, they have really negative connotations. This is why that word was used. It was used for a reason, to give you these negative crusader racist views against me.
Ooh, I said crusade because I wanted to call you a racist, was it? Was that it? Okay. No, you're punching there, bud. You're reaching for something that's not there. Again, haven't called you a racist, never did. Worded things badly. True, my bad. Never called you a racist. And I said crusade because honestly it was the only word I could think of in that moment. I'd said the word like journey, mission. I'd said those a lot and I wanted a different word. So I said crusade. It's a synonym. And I don't actually think crusade has a negative connotation. When I think of the word crusade, I think of like a medieval journey or a medieval mission. I don't think it's negative. Like, you think I'm some mastermind of words? Like, fucking pop into my stream, man. I'm an idiot. I mistake words all the time. I stutter like I'm doing in this video. But fine, I'm a mega mind of words. Genuinely taking it upon his own shoulders as if given to him from a higher power.
Now, apparently, I'm some religious fanatic.
Nope. Teach the survivor community a lesson. Didn't say that.
So remember, he's trying to say that I'm attacking everyone who plays a Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm trying to kill the survivors in my lobby. That's it. Not the person, the survivor. I'm sorry, Alison, I'm not the person that you want me to be for your video.
To teach. Okay, all right. You know what? Okay, I've got some examples of role players. Because you seem to be talking about role players and you seem to be like, no, I just want to kill them. No, you want to attack all of them. And we can see that from how you behave in the end game, how you behave in your Twitch chat. Okay, you have made it very obvious that you go further than just wanting to kill them in the game. Let's look at some role players on Twitch. The Cool Mike Myers Show, for example. Another person who, God, I can't remember his name, but he plays as Bubba and he plays as Myers and he has a massive love for the horror community. I think it begins with JB, JD, something like that. But those people role play, okay? Cool Mike Myers, he role plays as Michael Myers. He wears a mask and everything. The J guy does the exact same thing. Myers, Bubba, all that kind of stuff. And he does what you do in the video, in your streams. He will camp. He'll play as Bubba and he'll hit people on hook and he does all that good stuff. The key difference, and this is where knowing the line between real life and game is really important. The key difference is they never take it out of the game. They GG the survivors. They say, oh my God, I love you, survivors. And if the survivor comes into the chat annoyed, they'll be like, I'm so sorry you had a bad game. I'm really sorry. I'm just kind of playing this part. I'm trying to have fun. I'm just messing around. I apologize. Hope you're going to have some amazing games next time. They understand that when the person comes out of the game, they are a person. You don't. You see, you have this weird role play that goes too far where you think that people are actually survivors who you need to kill. That's, I know of a word for it, but that's fucked. That you can't understand that a game ends when the game ends. It's really, really concerning to me. And this is where the whole unhinged thing came from, okay? It came from the fact that you think that you need to continue this even when the game's over. And you don't understand the line between the game and real life. I get you roleplay. I get it. Cool. Crack on and roleplay. But know that these are still real people behind the screen. These are still real people with real lives, with real feelings that you are negatively impacting by your fun. You have to understand that. Otherwise, it's not role-playing anymore. It's just you being an arsehole. Teach them that the killers are better.
The killer is the stronger in-game character. That's why there's 4 survivors and 1 killer.
That the killer community is... Why are you telling me in-game mechanics, bud? You're acting like I'm an idiot and it's just condescending. It's actually superior.
Again, it's nothing against any community. If there was not a survivor community, I wouldn't have anybody to play with. But he keeps putting me in these boxes.
But I'm going to be very brutally honest here. You're not on a glorious crusade, my guy. You're just a fucking bully.
So because I like to play Bubba as a face camper,
nope.
I like to get into a bit of roleplay, because I like to get into I'm a bully. There's a big difference between someone playing a video game, within its limits, to being a bully, like a real life bully. But then again, it's just another box to put me in.
You're obsessed with these boxes, and yeah, there is a line. You've crossed it. You've jumped over it. It's in the distance for you because you don't understand that the game is the game. Okay, you think that your behavior towards other people, real people, in the endgame chat and in your Twitch chat is justified because the game has me be a killer. No, you're not taking any responsibility, and you are bullying people. Plain and simple. And I stand by that. You are a bully. And from what I've seen since of how you reply to people in my comments and what you've been saying in this video and the fact that you have taken no responsibility, we are 42 minutes into this video and you have not once, I think maybe actually, no, I tell a lie. I think you've taken responsibility once. And I think it was about the stream sniping thing. I think you've taken responsibility once, but you've not taken responsibility for anything else. You may think that you are this William Wallace type hero who is saving the world from the scourge of the survivor community.
Every Scotsman is William Wallace, right?
But in actuality, you are no better than the playground bullies that you find in every single schoolyard across the world.
Have you ever been bullied before?
Yes, actually.
You know somebody who has? How do you feel about those bullies? What they've done to your friends and your loved ones? This is the box that he's putting me in. This guy is peddling hate. Just choose a box. Which one suits you?
As a fat ginger kid who was socially awkward when I was growing up, I was heavily bullied, actually. I was pushed to great extents, as I was bullied when I was growing up. I've been physically assaulted. I've been emotionally abused. I've been mentally abused. I've been all of it. All of it's happened to me. And that's how I know you're a bully, because you like making other people feel like shit. You like insulting people. You like having a laugh at other people's expense. You like making yourself feel better than people. You like people coming into your chat and you like insulting them, using their where they live against them. You know, like, you like all of this kind of stuff. You literally say this is your humor multiple times. You think that's funny. Makes you a bully. I know what a bully looks like. And I call it as I see it. And you can keep saying, oh, he's putting me into a box. I'm not boxing you in anything. I'm just saying what you are in my eyes. And I don't care about boxes. I don't understand this whole box thing that you keep talking about, but I maintain that you are a bully. You are literally a sad little man sat behind his keyboard and mouse trying to dish out shit.
Really personal attacks here. This Aaron chap is actually quite vicious.
Just because I'm vicious, am I? Okay. No. I've called you a sad little man sat behind your keyboard. I don't think that's personal. You get more personal than I do by attacking people for being scouse. I don't. Seem to get some sort of joy about making others feel bad.
Again, I like to play the role the game lets me, you know? Again, remember what you said. It's not my job to make sure the survivors are having fun.
It's not your job to insult real people in real life either. You seem to get joy in seeing other people in pain or frustration or getting annoyed.
I mean, you say this, but you're the one who is making videos where you snip everything out of context, you're hiding information, you're trying to paint a picture so people can target me. Who's the one getting joy from hate here?
And what have I taken out of context? What information have I hidden? Like, show me proof. Like, earlier on, you showed the full clip that shows more context, right? The only context you added was that there were scratch marks in the area, which weren't going to be Claudette's if she was running Sprint Burst and was able to activate Sprint Burst that early on in the trial when she did. Wasn't going to be her, it was somebody else. You think that I've taken things out of context, or you're making this insinuation when I haven't. And if you can provide me proof, crack on, provide me proof. Me calling you out on your behavior and saying that you're a bully is very different to you bullying people and insulting people and going out of your way to make other people's experiences in the game miserable under the guise of I'm the killer. Those are very different things. And if I take joy in calling people out who are arseholes, it's very different from people who take joy in being an arsehole. And you may think I'm an arsehole because I'm calling you out and therefore you're the person who's not obviously going to get a good time from the things I'm saying. Fair enough. But I don't take joy in being an arsehole. I think it's important to call people out for what they do, and every now and then, you know, I'll have a joke and I'll have a laugh in the videos, as you saw. But take joy, that's not my main thing. I don't take joy in, as you could, being an arsehole, because I don't think I'm being an arsehole personally. But again, different viewpoints, I guess. And that just makes you a bully.
No, mate, I'm not a bully. I'm on my channel doing my own thing. What you're trying to do here is make a wider issue, because the wider the target, the easier your viewers are going to have at being able to hit one beat that you've created for me. One box. This is manipulation.
And manipulation, is it? Oh, okay. Just because you're doing it on your channel doesn't mean that you're any less of a bully. First of all, you keep saying, I'm doing what I do on my channel. You can still be a bully on your channel with your behavior. And you talk about this like wide net that I'm apparently casting, or this wide box that I'm apparently hitting, or whatever it was you said. You're saying this as if I want people to go and send hate to you, but I don't send people over to you. I have never once said your name. I've never linked your Twitch channel. I've never made it easy for people to find out who you are. I've taken every effort I can, taken time to make sure that doesn't happen. This isn't about a personal attack on you. This is about me critiquing your behavior and saying why it's bad for the community. You may think it's a personal attack, but it's not. It's if anything, it's an attack on your behavior and how you treat other people. That I'm attacking because I think it's absolutely horrendous and horrible. And a lot of people have said in my comments that they've come away from your stream with a horrible feeling and feeling like they got, you know, that they didn't have a good time, that you were horrible to them. And you don't see that. I don't understand how I can make that clearer, that, you know, Your behavior is what I'm talking about, and your behavior is horrendous. And this journey that you seem to be on, this point you're trying to make, this isn't real life.
That's right. This isn't real life, but you seem to be taking what's happening in a game and making it about real life issues, right?
And I know, no, that's what you're doing. This video is already very long, so I'm only going to show you one more thing, but I feel like it just sums up everything that this guy has in terms of an attitude towards this game. So this is in an endgame chat. No one has said anything to him, and this is after he got a 4K through his camping playstyle. He put, GG easy. Welcome to Trump's America. AKA Behavior's latest update. Behavior rewarded my camping playstyle.
So I feel at this point like I could upload 20 jokes for you that you wouldn't get, but, you know, I'll make a comment anyway. I live in Scotland. This is not Trump's America. Also, Trump is not in power anymore, so the joke about those MAGA guys who do, you know, bad stuff as if that gives them permission to do it because Trump's in charge or something, it's satire. It's the whole, welcome to Trump's America. You know, we're poking fun at these people.
Does that come across? To me, it doesn't. To me, it definitely doesn't come across as you poking fun at Trump's America. To me, it comes across as you almost using it as a celebratory thing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe other people, you know, if you guys watching this in the comments, if you interpreted it differently, fair play. But I interpret it that way. And you can hide behind, oh, it was satire. But my guy, if a joke doesn't land, you got to take responsibility for that. If a joke comes across as something wrong, especially if it's kind of offensive, you've got to own that and be like, okay, yeah, I meant it as a joke, but my bad, it didn't come across like that. Instead, you just double down and like, no, it's a joke. This doesn't come across like a joke to me. My man compares the most recent update in Dead by Daylight to Trump's America, and then actually insinuates that it's a good thing and that he has been rewarded.
So I'm not sure if you've been keeping up with the patch, but killers are essentially getting 50 more seconds worth of gen time before they can escape. That's 50 seconds of Bubba being able to camp before you can actually leave. So, you know, if you have anything to say about that, maybe target one of the big streamers who have made several comments the fact that this patch is going to help face camping.
Did they call it Trump's America? Why are you deflecting? I'm not talking about the big streamers. Another big streamer hasn't been like, hey, this is Trump's America, I've been rewarded. No, I'm talking about you and what you said. Don't deflect. You just can't take responsibility, can you? You just can't. It just doesn't happen, apparently. Cannot for 1 second believe that there are actually two versions of this person in the world.
No, see, here's the thing. You don't want there to be two versions of me.
No, I don't.
To be only one version of me. That way, you can make some money.
Just... What? What? That doesn't even make sense. If there were two versions of you, I could make 2 videos and double my money. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense, does it? You pushing this, oh, I'm chasing richness narrative. You made a point that doesn't even make fucking sense. Having multiple versions of you would be better for me. More cash dollar. Yay. I'm fucking... What's his name from the Scrooge? I'm Scrooge. Doesn't make any sense. You whatever. Uninstall the game.
He doesn't like my playstyle or my humour on stream. I guess I should just leave the game because he said so, right? Just uninstall the game.
Go. Humour. You make jokes at other people's expenses. You attack people. You try and make people feel like shit. You try and ruin people's games, and you're like, humour. It kind of says everything about you to me personally, but fair enough. Go and do something else. Go and touch some grass.
I guess this guy thinks that streaming just obviously isn't right for me.
You need to go and talk to somebody.
Because I'm just this unhinged person, right?
If you ever come across this person, report him.
So anyone who comes across me should just report me. That kind of sounds like you're trying to deplatform me. You know, I mean, let's be honest, I'm a tiny blip on the radar. I love my stream. My subs are amazing. You know, I've got my fish tank and stuff, and I play the role of Bubba sometimes, sure. But what you're doing is you're punching down. You know, you're talking about someone with a few hundred survivors who's been streaming for a few weeks against someone like yourself, thousands and thousands of views, and, you know, you're probably thinking that I'm not going to fight back. Well, I guess you've not met many Scotsmen then.
What? Okay. What? When did I ever mention your follower count? When did I ever mention the size of your streaming platform? Never. because that's not what it's about. I said it at the start of this video. I don't care how many followers you have. If you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. Trying to deplatform you, yeah, you know what, to an extent. If you keep up the stuff that you're doing, I don't think you should have a platform. You're using it to spread hate. You're using it to insult people. You're using it to ruin people's games and then to brag about it and to laugh about it and to laugh at people. I don't think you should have a platform if you're that kind of person. I stand by that. And second of all, I don't care if you fight back. I don't care. Like, this wasn't an attack. You again have made it an attack. It wasn't. It was me. It was an attack on your behavior, but it wasn't an attack on you. Oh, sorry, push the mic. It was me critiquing your behavior, and you can't handle critique, maybe, and that's why you have taken it as such a personal attack. Maybe. And also, I met many Scotsmen. I have a lot of Scots friends. I've met a lot of Scots people. I don't know where that came from, but I've met a lot of them. Don't give him the attention he wants.
So remember, you're the one who came into my stream. You said nothing. You took footage to fit your narrative to make about your toxic videos. I was doing my own thing, not interfering with anybody apart from my 200 followers, again, who choose to follow what I'm doing.
Again, not true. You impact people who aren't following you. Like, yeah, your 200 followers, obviously the people who like your content and who stick around, fine. That's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to support you because maybe you do have some good moments. I don't know. But you do impact a wider variety of people. There are people in my comments who have said that they have encountered you weeks ago, weeks before this video was uploaded, and they still remember who you are because you left such a negative impression on them. And if I know you've been in my comments because you've responded to a few of them, or try to, I guess, got hell for spam. And so I know you've seen people saying this, and it still doesn't clock to you that I'm not the only one who thinks that your behavior is problematic. You think that it's just me, and that I am just painting this picture of who you are, that I'm taking clips to fit my context, my narrative. I didn't go in looking for an unhinged killer. Somebody sent me your footage, by the way. So somebody came up against you, thought you were that bad and that horrible that a video, you should be called out, essentially. And I called you out. And in terms of taking clips to fit my context, I didn't edit the clips harsh. Like, I didn't over edit the clips. I didn't move clips around to cut context out. I just played the clips and I commented on them. And if you truly believe that that's not the case, I still have all the unedited clips. I can release them if you would like. I can release them and show that I didn't just edit them out of context, that you do react to the things that you react to in the ways that I have shown you reacting to them. I didn't lie. I've never lied, as a rule. Blurred his name and everything on this because, honestly, this one isn't even about stopping him getting hate.
You're the one who has got hate in your heart, man. I think you're the type of person who's going to find offence in everything. That way you can point to the hate and say whatever you want.
Pot kettle black, my friend. Pot kettle black. You're talking about I find hate in everything and I find insult in everything, or what you just said. And it's funny how you spent the whole video basically playing the victim card and then say that about me. No. I make jokes at my expense. I have people come in and give me shit. I have jokes made about me. My community loves to bully me. I don't care. I don't have hate in my heart. And if you truly believe I do, that's a shame. I don't. I promise you that. But I guess we're going to be on different wavelengths after this video. So this is actually just about starving him of the attention that he so clearly wants.
So the thing with the internet is, you can blur someone's name, but who else has the Salt Bay Bubba in the fish tank? I've not seen anybody else with that.
I don't think I showed your fish tank. And also the Salt Bay Bubba. Yeah, you're right. Nobody has that. I don't think I showed that too much. If I did, I think I might have. I'm not sure. But you can't find somebody based on an image. Like, you could accidentally run into them and then know who they are because of the Salt Bay or the fish tank or the voice, I would say, is probably a more of a accurate one. But you can't search someone using those things. You can't find them. You can accidentally find them, at which point they're going to see your behavior anyway, and they're going to draw their own conclusions anyway, I'm sure. But you cannot find someone using that information.
It's not hard to find somebody if you want to find somebody. And I've already had some of your goons coming into my stream.
Goons.
I've had to ban them, and my follower count has went up. These are people who have not been in my games. These are people who have more than likely found their way to my stream because of your video, and I've had to close my stream off, until I can get this video up and say, this is my side of the story. So, congratulations, you managed to deplatform me for however many weeks. What a really shitty thing to do to somebody.
I didn't deplatform you. You did that. You put up a message saying that you wanted to put your video out, and that's why you were taking a break. That was your choice. I want to deplatform you permanently if you continue with this type of behavior. If you continue being a bully, then yeah, I don't think you should have a platform. Also, if people have found you, let me know their names. I'll ban them from my community. I've said from the start that if anybody goes after you with hate, they're not part of my community. And my video right now, I think it's got like 30,000 views, something like that. My subscriber count 9.5. If that, I think it's like 9.23, some ridiculous like that. That's a big chunk of people on this video alone, never mind my other videos, that I obviously aren't part of my community. Obviously are just watching these types of videos to look for targets. Now, I never named you, and I can guarantee that it would be incredibly hard for somebody to find you off the bat based on my video. However, you coming into the comments and leaving your name and saying this was me, and having your YouTube name be the exact same name as your Twitch name, that will push people to find you. Yep, that'll do it. Right? You replied directly to like 12 people. Yeah, that will give them probably the information to find you. Like, you can't blame that on me. You went out of your way as well to have people find you. So you're as equally responsible for that as I am. And again, not my goons if they've come in to you. Everybody in my community understands that I don't do this to spread hate, and they wouldn't do that. So if you want to send me the names of these people, please do feel free to do so. You have my Discord now.
You've got to remember as well, this guy talks about reaching out to people. I've reached out to the survivor, etc. He didn't reach out to me at any point to let me know a video was coming out, to say, do you have anything to say about it? Nothing at all. Literally just drops it on me, because when he drops grenades, he makes money.
If you know who... Oh, this money thing again. You know what? Yeah, you got a point. I didn't reach out to you, and I don't reach out to the people I make videos about normally. If it's in a positive light, I guess I do normally on occasion. Like, I did reach out to that survivor who was featured in that video and said, would you mind if I featured your name in this? But that's because I was featuring their name in it. Like, if I am naming a person, I will normally reach out to them and say, are you okay with me doing this? If I don't name a person, I don't, because by my logic, no one should find you. There should be no backlash on it. And yeah, I know people did find him, and I still maintain that he did still put his name on my video. There was still his thing, and people will know who he is because people have encountered him. Dead by Daylight is actually quite a small world in the grand scheme of things, and that's always the risk you run with these type of videos. But the majority of those 30,000 people who have watched this video so far will not have known how to find him, because I spend my time going through the comments and deleting any reference to your name. Anybody who tries to name you, gone, deleted. I hide the person from my channel. I ban them, because that's not why I do what I do. And again, you keep saying that it's all about money. I was doing this before I made money. The whole money thing has only come in like the past month and a half. But if you look at my channel, I was making these videos way before I was making money. I make these videos because I believe that these videos should be made. It's not about money. But you keep pushing that narrative if you want to, bud. Who this is, if you ever come up against him, ignore him, report him, and move on.
So again, if you see me, just ignore what I have to say. Ignore my side of the story. Just report me. Get me kicked off Twitch. Dead by Daylight.
Is that what I said?
Used to bully here, sorry. The guy with 3,000 followers on Twitch, 5,000 on YouTube. I think it's actually went up to 6,000, 7,000 now.
Is that what I said? Is that what I said? No, that's not what I said. I said ignore you, because odds are you're going to throw hate at them, as I've shown you do in this video. I said ignore you because you're a horrible person to people in the game. And you may say, oh, I'm the killer, but that just gives them even more reason to ignore you, because you're going to be horrible to them. You're going to play this killer part. I'm trying to protect people who come up against you. And you may not see that because you don't maybe think that you're somebody who needs to be protected from. But hey, If Bubba was knocking about in the street, I wouldn't tell people to go over and hear his side of the story. If you're painting yourself as Bubba, I wouldn't be like, hey, go and fucking talk to that Leatherface over there who's got the chainsaw wielding it about like a madman and make sure that he tells you his side of the story. I wouldn't do that, obviously. Now, if you want to put your side of the story across, I'm all for it. And that's why I'm reacting to this video and not monetizing it, by the way, because I want you to be able to tell your side of the story. I think it's important. But I still do maintain that if somebody comes up against you in this game and is horrible to you, and you're horrible to them, that's when they should ignore you and that's when they should report you. Maybe I didn't make that part clear, so I apologize, but that was what I was talking about. If you're being friendly, obviously don't ignore him. And this to everybody watching. If this guy is being friendly, if this Bubba is being friendly and being nice, don't ignore him. Be nice to him. Spread some positivity. But if he's being an asshole, as we've seen him do frequently, ignore him. Don't rise to it. Don't reply with hate, is my point. Best way that you can annoy this guy.
That's right. You tell them the best way to annoy me and harass me. So I've had to
harass you. Like, it's actually the opposite. I'm trying to get people not to harass you because you enjoy the back and forth of harassment, but fair enough.
To pay to get a video made because, I don't have the skills.
Sorry, I want to go back, sorry.
So I've had to pay to get a video made because, I don't have the skills. I'm a new YouTuber, Twitch person, whatever. And I thought it was important that I could say my piece, say my side of the story. There's not going to be other videos. So if this guy decides to jump on me even further and sort of hammer down, there's not going to be any more response to me. So please, if there's anything you're maybe not sure about, anything you want to talk about, come at my stream. No problem. We'll have a chat about it. One of the big things as well is just having some sort of record about what you're actually doing here and how easily people can get misrepresented. I can't speak for the other people that you've made videos on at all. I don't know them, but I'm just this old man gamer. I've got a young family. I enjoy playing the different roles and stuff from different games.
Why you're playing a victim card again? You're perpetuating this idea, I'm just a small streamer who can't even afford editing. I'm this old man who just enjoys playing video games. You're not taking responsibility for any of the stuff you've done. You're literally making it seem like I'm like this big bully who's coming just punching you, and you're this feeble old man who can't afford anything, and you're perpetuating that narrative, and you are saying that I'm taking things out of context and I'm perpetuating narratives. Fair, I guess, but you are doing the exact same thing here and not taking responsibility. Nowhere have you actually said, you know what, maybe I was wrong in doing what I did. Maybe I was this. No, you've been like, no, it's my channel. It's my humor. I can do what I want. But fair enough.
And the bottom line is that your words, your narrative that you've created has essentially put my family in danger.
How is it? How has it put your family in danger? You tell me how it's put your family in danger. You tell me right now how it's put your family in danger. You, honestly, what the fuck are you talking about? Because one, I've never once said your name. And I won't. Even on this video. Even right now, as you can see on the screen, over here, he's put his Twitch link. That's blood. I'm not sending people to your channel. I'm just not doing it. Because that's not the point of what I'm trying to do. So I've never once named you. And two, your name on Twitch isn't even your real name. So nobody would be able to find you in real life, even if they did find you. Even if I did call out what your actual name was, you would never in real life be found because you don't have a face cam, you don't reveal your location other than it's Scotland, and you don't reveal your actual name. So you tell me how I've put your family at risk, because that is a serious accusation to make. But you tell me how I've done that, because I haven't. If anything, you naming yourself have done more for that than I have, because you have told everybody now who you are, because people are going to find this video, people are going to find out who you are now, and as much as I have tried my hardest to stop that happening, you yourself have fought against me to make sure that people know who you are. And you may say that's because you want people to hear your side of the story, but if you are truly as afraid of the hate as you are making it seem like you are, feeble old man, all this kind of stuff, your family's in danger, then you wouldn't have been trying to get people over to your stream.
You deleted
I'm gonna go back a little bit.
You've created has essentially put my family in danger. You deleted all the comments that I made on YouTube to defend myself.
I've talked about that. I didn't, and I did reach out to him. But again, like whispers are a confusing thing, and if you are as new to Twitch as you say you are, fair enough. You probably don't know about it, so I'm not gonna say that's your fault. I think that's honestly just miscommunication. But But by the way, the fact that your comments got held means that less people were able to find out who you were, because you put your comment on at the start of the video's lifespan. So that was before 30,000 people seen it. Can you imagine what would have happened if the 30,000 people who watched that video would have seen your name? You would have gotten much, much more people coming over to your stream, whether good or bad. If anything, the fact that your comments got held for spam was actually beneficial to stopping hate coming towards you. So by that narrative, if I had deleted the comments, I would have only been doing it to protect you. But fair enough. You probably wouldn't see that.
You actually encourage people.
I encourage people. This guy gives us the same energy as I was cheating on my kindergarten girlfriend. Now I hate all women. Like, bro, does he not realize without survivors, he wouldn't even be a killer main? I was face-to-face camping fun or entertaining the play. I said I love the energy comparison. I love the joke of it. I didn't encourage hate.
On your comments as well. So I mean.
Okay, what is it? Honestly, this sounds exactly like what he does every game. His anger does stem past just being about survivors into territory that's much more personal, which is why I said he's a bully. Okay, but what's the comment that I've replied to there, bud? What's the comment that I've replied to? Because I believe, I might be wrong, fact check me, go into my comments, but I believe the comment that I made was because you were insulting somebody personally. I believe you pulled up their profile or their stream, and you were saying things that were personal about them, and I made this comment. The fact that you haven't put the context, again, you notice how he's taking things out of context? The fact that you haven't put the context above that shows to me that you're trying to hide something.
Have a look at these.
I usually like to watch this kind of stream once in a while because it's somehow funny, but yeah, this guy is nuts like coconuts. It's like a car crash. I think you can't look away. The car crash analogy was about your stream and what your behavior is like, and the fact that like when something is so like, whoa, you normally can't look away from it. You know, to be fair, that might have been a bit harsh to say that your stream was like a car crash, so I apologize for that.
Comments here, the things that you're.
He's a real piece of work for sure. I don't know what he gets from it, but whatever it is, I think he needs to stop personally because he's not bringing any positivity into the game, in my opinion. Yeah, true, I stand by that. The community definitely has some very bad apples. We need more positivity to counter people like this. Yep, maintain that as well.
You're sort of saying, and this.
These are the type of killers hackers should be holding hostage for 10 hours straight. Like, you guys could use your hacks for good if you see this and hold them hostage. Thank you for your service, soldier. I would love to see that. I would love to see how you handled the hacker, to be fair. I would love to see how, because you're so caught up in this idea that killers are better than survivors are, more powerful than survivors, it would be funnier to me to see a survivor who literally has all the power over you and to see what you would do. And yeah, I maintain that.
Sad thing is,
I will go back and let him say everything he's saying now. I'm just reading the comments that he's putting up, sorry. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry about his accent. Okay, so that was in reply to somebody who was also Scottish and said that his version, I think it was like West Scottish versus East Scottish or something like that. They said his accent was like chalkboard, and was like, I joke. You know, I'm only kind of sending fun ribbing to a fellow Scotsman. So me saying sorry about his accent was actually in the context, which again he's cut out here. It's funny how some of them he's put context, some of them he hasn't. That was the context that was attributed to. Might have come across harsh out of context. I appreciate that, so I apologize, but there was context to that. Pretty clear to me that this guy is internalizing something that could lead to even more drastic behavior. Get some help, my dude. I agree. Yeah, I do. I do think that you are very vicious and very horrible, and that is stemming from something else. I do agree with that. If it is stemming from this roleplay thing that you're just taking too far, you know, I still think that that's something which you need to have a look at and think about, because it's not very good. Oh my god, more. I have no idea what's going on in his personal life, but I know he's bringing a lot of anger into the game in an unhealthy way. What's wrong with that? The guy is fucking unhinged by his actions in game, on needing to be dominant like that is scary, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere near this guy. Unsafe. I agree, bad vibes and red flags all over the place. Maybe I went a bit too far with that one, to be fair. Bad vibes, I agree with. Red flags, that's me commenting on his personal life in relation to the game. Maybe that was a bit too far, so I apologize on that one. Oh my god, you are just literally... Okay. You're just sending them on. This one here says, give me respect I deserve while I stand AFK in front of the hook and watch your stream. And I said, so much respect is needed for that, let's be honest. What's wrong with that? This guy scares me. If he actually is like this in real life, someone's going to get his wrong end. Honestly seems unhinged. I said, I hope he leaves it in the game. What's wrong with that? This person said, I've been looking forward to this one. I said, thank you for everything. This person said, it's a real shame players like this make people stop playing DBD. I said, when he's the one who needs to stop. What's wrong with that? You've ignored the fact that somebody is literally saying that your behavior is making people stop DBD. And apparently because I've agreed with that, I'm the bad guy. All right.
People.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Well, we're just not going to read any of those, are we? Right. I'm going to let him say what he was just saying, full stop, without me interrupting.
I'm in danger. You deleted all the comments that I made on YouTube to defend myself. You actually encourage people on your comment.
But just one more. Nowhere in there is me encouraging people to send hate to him or to be horrible to him. Nowhere.
As well. So I mean, have a look at these comments here. The things that you're sort of saying, and the sad thing is that the amount of people who watch your videos, in comparison to mine, I'm never going to have a fraction of the view count that your video gets, but at least I'll have something there for myself personally, for my sanity, to click and say, here, you know, this is my side of the story.
Yeah, I guess my video will get more views because I'm a bigger content creator, but I'm like, you know, you make a good point, because I guess what you're trying to say here is that, like, it's a shame that not many people are going to hear your side of the story as much as seen what I've said about you. And that's exactly why I'm making this video. This video is probably going to be like 2 hours long. This is exactly why I'm making this video, because I want as many people as possible to hear your side of the story. So I have tried to, I guess, help with that, because I understand.
I also want to let you know as well that I'm going to hold you personally accountable for this narrative that you're creating and any, you know, negative repercussions that happen to, you know, myself and my family due to what you've done to your videos.
You're gonna hold me personally responsible? Wow. Okay, so honestly, I don't think anything's gonna happen to your family, bud. Nobody knows who you are, and I don't mean that in a way of, you're a small streamer, so nobody knows who you are. No, I mean, you use a nickname. Nobody knows who you are. You're fine. You don't use a face cam. You don't put your address anywhere. If you don't use a VPN already, I would suggest it. I use a VPN. It's just good for the Dead by Daylight community as a whole. But nobody knows who you are in real life. People may know your Twitch, yeah, and they may come into your chat and be like, hey, dickhead. Fine. If you want to continually send me the names of those people who do that, please do, and I will ban every single one of them from my community. I promise. But you're going to hold me personally responsible for the repercussions? That's not one. Because I have just taken your clips and I've said what I think about them. And people are more than free to disagree with the things I've said. And people do disagree with things I say sometimes. A lot of the time, actually. I get a lot of people who think I'm an arsehole in my comments. You can look through and see them. They're all there. I don't think you should be holding me personally accountable. I think you should be holding yourself personally accountable, because you're the person who did all of this stuff. I'm commenting on the things that you've done. You're the one who went and said all this stuff about killers versus survivors. You're the one who went and insulted Scousers based on their accent. You're the one who went and, attacked all these people and did all of these things. And I just kind of showed people what you were doing. And yeah, I said my own thoughts on that. Because that's the kind of content I make. That's the commentary that I'm giving. But you're not taking any responsibility for it, dude. And it's not very good. It's not very healthy, I think, to just blame other people for the stuff that you've done and the behavior that you've exhibited.
I understand that not everybody agrees with, you know, a bubba that face camps or slugs on hook and stuff. Remember, I'm a killer who, you know, I often talk about how hard killers have it, especially when I'm not playing Bubba. I'm playing maybe Freddy or Pinhead or something.
Just a quick one. My comment was never about the fact that you face camp. I even say in my video, I get face camping. It's fun. It's a good thing to do every now and then. It's a guilty pleasure. My comments were never about the fact that you face camp as Bubba. I don't care about your gameplay. I care about your behavior. I care about the things that you say to other people. Real people. In real life. That's what I care about. And that's what I've mainly commented on. In my video, I've never once said, "Oh, you know what? This guy's a dickhead because he camps as Bubba." That would be hypocritical of me because I do it. There's a video on my channel of me doing it, basement Bubba to somebody. Like, that's never what it's about. And You know, like I think you say that I've made comments about your gameplay because you link you being an asshole with you being the killer in the game. And to be fair, if that's how you see it, then I can understand why you may think that it's gameplay I'm commenting on, but it's not. It's you being horrible to people that I'm commenting on.
And I know that no matter what I do say, there's always going to be a bunch of people who don't agree with my view on the state of the game, or you know, what's balanced, what's not. But that's okay. I'm not here to make judgment on those people. I'm okay with that. But you know, I'm not going to be put in one of these boxes so this guy can essentially monetize somebody's suffering.
That's your own thought? Okay. Monetize someone's suffering? I'm not doing that. If I went into your stream and I recorded all of the hate that you say you're getting, and then made a video about it and was like, haha, look at this guy getting hate, then I'd be monetizing your suffering. What I'm doing is I'm monetizing my videos where I critique your behavior. It's very different. And you frequently perpetuate this narrative that I'm only doing things for money, as if it's wrong for me to want to be paid for the YouTube videos that I create, which is false, by the way. A lot of people have said that I only do this stuff for money. I was doing this stuff before I made money off YouTube, so I honestly don't think there's any grounds to those accusations. And I'm not monetizing this video because it's not what it's about, and I do kind of want to show that. And make it clear. Overall, what I took from that video was a complete lack of responsibility or accountability being taken. The only thing that you did was try and spin everything into a gameplay aspect. You tried to say that all of your behavior is justified because you play as Bubba, which isn't true. You know, like, you face camping in a game, hitting people on hook, leaving people slugged, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, fine, that's all justifiable by Bubba. And to be fair, I don't really care about all that stuff. I frequently say that I don't think camping, tunneling, BMing on hook, all that kind of stuff, I don't think it's toxic. I think it's just part of the game. Your behavior outside of the game, your attitudes towards other players who are real people, all of that kind of stuff is what I think is toxic, and I maintain that. And you have not once taken responsibility for that. Now, you may think that I'm just wrong in that account, then fine. That's obviously fine. It's your opinion, and I can't change that, and I don't try to. I don't try and change people's opinions as much as you think I do, as much as you think I manipulate people into thinking what I want them to think. I don't. You know, if I put a video out and people don't like it, which has happened, and if people have different opinions on the things that I've said, which has happened, of course, I'm not perfect, and I expect people to have different opinions to me. All of this just sounds like I'm trying to defend myself. My main point that I want to make here is it does not sound like you've taken accountability for 1 second. It does not sound like you've actually acknowledged the things that I've said, that people in the comments have said, that people have been saying about you. And instead of actually checking your behavior and maybe trying to work on your behavior and make it nicer and more positive and a better thing to come across in the game, you have essentially tried to make me out to be a bully, a money mad fiend, putting you in all these boxes that you don't deserve to be in, and all this kind of stuff. And it is a shame that I've watched 51 minutes of your content out of your responsibility video, and you never once took responsibility. That is a real shame. In terms of closing thoughts for the video, I mean, I think I said my piece throughout. I'm not going to kind of drag on the video anymore. It's already very, very long. And I hope that you understand, Mr. Bubba, that I am just trying to get your voice out there because, like you said, you have a smaller platform, and I don't want your voice to go unheard as much as you think I would think otherwise, or I'm perpetuating otherwise. I don't want your voice to go unheard in this conversation. Should I have reached out to you first? Maybe I should have. But honestly, I don't actually think that would have gone down well. I think if I had come to you and said, hey, I made a video about you, here, watch it, I think you would have taken that as more of an attack. And that's a personal attack to me. If somebody had created a video about me and then sent it to me, I would take that much more personally than if somebody made a video about my behavior and I watched it by coming across it. But that might just be me. And maybe I should have sent you the video. I honestly don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a gray area for these type of videos. I don't know whether sending the person the video ahead of time is a better alternative. People in the comments, give me your thoughts. I would love to hear them. As you have said, Bubba, this is also going to be my final thoughts on this situation. This is going to be the only thing that I post. If you want to post another video, you crack on. I'm not going to watch it. Well, we'll watch it, but I want to make a video about it. I'm not interested in just continuing this back and forth, and it sounds like you're not as well, so that's fair. I stand by a lot of what I've said in that video. I do think I made mistakes in that video. I think the thing about Purple Aki, the racist connotation thing, I think I could have worded much better and not made it sound like I was calling you racist, because that wasn't my intention. So I do apologize for that. I think that was a fuck up on my part. I'm not gonna lie. So I take responsibility for that. There's a couple. It sounds like there might be a couple of miscommunications in terms of what you were talking about when you said the killer is better than the survivor. I took it to mean the community, because that's what it sounded like to me. If that was wrong and you're actually saying that, you know, survivors need to give the killer the character respect, then fair. I still think that you go way too far with this whole role playing thing, and I think that you trying to use it to justify your behavior and your hatred is wrong and is not correct and is not a justification. You still need to take responsibility for those kind of things, which you haven't. So, but yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I think I don't have anything much more to say. People in the comments, please do leave your thoughts. Please do leave your thoughts on what he said and what I've said, and draw your own conclusions, because that's what's important. And again, I want to reiterate, if you go and send this person hate, if you go and try and find this person with the intention of being horrible to them, you're not part of this community. For example, I'm going to call out one person in particular, because in the comments of this video, somebody who goes by the name of 1989 on here put flop 100 views. You're not part of my community. How dare you do this when I've specifically asked multiple times not to do this kind of stuff? And if you're watching this, 1989, and you will know who you are not welcome here, and please leave. And to anybody else who does it as well, you can also leave, because I don't think you understand what this community is about, and I don't think you deserve to be part of it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for sticking with me for this long video, and thank you for hearing this guy's side of the story as well. I hope that you have come away with your own opinion, and if you think I've done anything wrong, please do let me know in the comments. If you think that this guy is wrong in the things that he said, please let me know in the comments. I want to hear both sides of the story. Anything that you guys think, please let me know. But for now, guys, it's gone for a long time. Please go out there and have the best day and be the best person and the best damn cronks you can be, as I always say. And thank you all so much for the support. And if in the future I ever do anything wrong, if I'm ever an asshole like this person says I am, please let me know. Please call me out. I want to be called out. I want to be told if I cross a line. So yeah, until next time, guys, goodbye for now.
So let me break it all down for you. I ain't never giving up, I ain't never giving up. Taking that crown from you.